people, document them, put them into a montage, get it out there through all social media, calmly and in a disciplined manner say, this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable that FEMA does not have enough money. They spend it on illegal immigrants. Calmly, point by point, prove it. Now, it takes discipline. It's true. Not everything that's been said is true, but enough of this is clear, and they can't even, think about this now, they can't even muster up the will to go all out. I'm talking Biden-Harris, right on the cusp of 1 month to the election. Imagine if this were 2 years out, what they wouldn't be doing. So the Trump team has to pull it together here, coordinate this, document, flood the zone with it, offer their own relief, embrace these people like this Green Beret group that is rescuing people, and put it together in a disciplined package. And then to say to Americans, look at what we're doing with all that money for Ukraine, illegal immigrants, Lebanon, and we can't do this for American citizens. In a swing state on top of it, bordering on another swing state that was hit, Georgia. All right, so here's Harris, though, on The View, calling Trump callous. Can you imagine this woman? Callous. Because he's talking about what's going on during this. So this is
So before she gets to that,
yes.
Navarro goes into like a whole thing
Yes.
about her name and tells
Right.
about Trump's response. Do you want that, or you just want comments?
No, I just want what she says here about the hurricane. That's what I'm drilling down. The hurricane.
He did in 2019. What do you think the effect of these lies are, and why is he doing this?
Well, it's profound, and it is the height of irresponsibility and, frankly, callousness.
Yeah.
So lives are literally at stake right now. I traveled to Georgia and to North Carolina after
God.
Hurricane Helene. In Georgia, I met a woman who, just days earlier, her husband was killed in their home by a fallen tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Days
what are you
later,
doing
I met
about it?
with her and her daughter. You can
She was
imagine
in office,
the
right?
pain, the shock that they are still in about
Yeah,
what
we
they
hear
can't-
it. It's like the grocery store. What are you doing about it?
It's what they witnessed. I mean, we're talking about real human beings and their lives and them losing everything. Everything. This woman lost her husband, her child lost her father. People are losing their home with no hope of ever being able to reconstruct or return. And the idea that somebody would be playing political games for the sake of himself, but this is so consistent about Donald Trump. He puts himself before the needs of others. I fear that he really lacks
God.
empathy on a very basic level.
My God.
To care about the suffering of other people and then understand the role of a leader is not to beat people down, it's to lift people up.
Okay, now let's stop it right there. This
the
is
end
the
of it.
narrative. Beating them down is calling into question what these people have done to us, to the country, what progressivism is. We are not beating down people. We're liberating people. We're trying to liberate them from this nonsense. What she did there, and with these goofballs on The View, was just, again, what she always does, describe ad nauseum the situation with no offer of help or here's our solution or what we're doing, because they're not, and she's not even there. She's too busy sitting down with Howard Stern today, Colbert, and the ladies on The View, millionaires all, who pervade this nonsense, this false empathy. 855-839-1210. But given the media, given everything that's there, this is a time, let's face it, I'm going to tell you bluntly, where Trump has to button it up and make the case. And Vance might be better at doing this explicitly, point by point, what they're not doing, yet what we're doing for countries like Ukraine and illegal immigrants. To that point, here is the French woman yesterday. First of all, yesterday, what she said with Peter Doocy about FEMA money for illegal immigrants. And then we're going to play you what she said in 2022 about FEMA money, which is dried up now because we don't have enough because we're taking care of people who broke into the country. So here's 16A, what she said about it yesterday.
It's just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants.
Okay, and here's what she said in September of 2022.
So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Migrants, illegal migrants. As if the internet doesn't exist, as if we don't have our own resources. So Biden, un-American, and then you heard Harris, this is just a cynical ploy. This is what we hear all the time, the false narrative, the media, the false empathy. We're not beating anyone down. We're trying to liberate them. We're trying to help them, and a lot of people who are more conservative, military and the like, are doing just that. The guy we had on the other day, Nick Sorter, we'll have him on again in the middle of it. Elon Musk. The federal government is not. It's A, FEMA doesn't have the full resources. Oh, no, wait a minute. She's actually going to Sbarro, you said, Dan? Is that true?
I'm going to go get me a New York slice.
No, she's
No,
not actually-
okay, she's going to. Nothing wrong with Sbarro's. I love the ziti.
I put up on the board. She's so
yeah,
inauthentic.
yeah.
She's going to Sbarro for an authentic New York slice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I have no problem with Sbarro. You know,
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I don't. I know. You know, and I'm
Never had
I'm
it.
tired
Are
of
you
all
ki-
this
no,
stuff.
you never had it?
Just because I like the Olive Garden for lunch.
Olive Garden's okay. Sbarro's trash.
And Sbarro, the ziti was fine. You're in the mall. You have kids.
I'd
and all,
rather
it's fine.
eat a pizza that's been sitting under a heat lamp at a comedy club than I would a pizza from Sbarro.
Jeez.
Oh, I didn't say pizza. I said the ziti. So
Even
don't
the
get me
ziti's
started.
tasteless.
Yeah, it's
not to
Sbarro's
me.
ziti.
It's fine. I'll give you
tweets it
my
out.
guide
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. So don't pull Sbarro as
I'm going to
inauthentic.
go get me a New York slice.
All right. So 855-839-1210.
Sorry to interrupt your great flow.
Yeah. Just this point, this hurricane, and now hitting Florida, let's face it, they can't say it. I will. It's both humanitarian and it is political. Everything is political. The time of day is political. And this is a way to turn Florida, Georgia, and hopefully the country. Disturbing story out today that I want to get to, though. In Just the News, DJ just sent it to me. This survey, and it's by a reliable Christian group, it's not a group attacking Christians, that talks about how many Christians in this survey, and I'll give you all the numbers and all the details, are not going to vote in this election. And the argument is that they don't like either one of the candidates. They also claim a lot of the ministers are not talking about the election. They're not connecting it, not telling people how to vote. They're not connecting it to the Bible or whatever. I don't know if it sounds blasphemous or not. I don't know what business they could be in. What business is the Archbishop and the Cardinals in if you're not connecting the things that are at stake here to religion, to your faith? That's not saying they have to say to vote for Trump just because the other side is committed to abortion and allowing babies to die even after the abortion is botched and any number of other things. But you mean to say they actually think they shouldn't be talking about the election and the stakes of this election? These are evangelicals, not just Catholics. In what universe? How are those two separate? What planet are they on? And then if Harris is elected for the next 4 years, will they talk about we have to do something? Look at what's happening with all these issues that we care about. It's a remarkable story. So do you know Christians that are not going to vote? I would say they're not a very good Christian if they don't vote. I don't see how you can take that title. You can't remove yourself from the world. There's have to be 55 biblical verses about that, right? 855-839-1210. All right, we're going to talk today to the former lieutenant governor of California under Arnold Schwarzenegger. We had him on before because President Trump tomorrow is going to Reading, Latino voters. You heard Scott Presler with us yesterday. But this is one of the wildest stories I've seen. A school district in Pennsylvania, and we're going to have a guest on from the Independence Law Center, says they were told by the Independence Law Center, you got to put these gender-inclusive bathrooms in. So what to do, put little windows in there. I'm not making it up. Henry and I have been on. He just got the guest. So you can look in and see what's going on in the bathroom.
Right.
Windows.
And it's not a tiny window either.
No, not at all.
Like that was,
Not a peephole,
that was kind of shocking to see.
Yes.
That.
We're talking windows in the bathrooms?
Windows in the
Are
bathroom.
they
that
frosted
claiming-
at least?
No.
or-
No, they're not frosted.
No.
No. You look
What?
in there because they have to determine if you're vaping or cutting or doing whatever. It is one of the most backward ideas
Wow.
in history.
Yeah, that is.
Yes. And of course, the other side will use it if you're against all this gender inclusive, the fluid type of stuff, to say, well, you're just doing that because you're mean. A window into the bathroom, and not a small one. What? You want to use that bathroom? Here's the pen. The other bathrooms don't have the windows, so you can go there, smoke, graffiti the place, do whatever. But that's what they came up with.
I just wonder what would happen if someone proposed that in a corporate environment to put windows in the
Yeah,
bathrooms.
exactly.
Like, what are we thinking here?
Yeah, well, we're going to get to the bottom of that. So, all right, side question today. It's National Chocolate-Covered Pretzel Day. So we're looking for someone or something that goes together as well as chocolate and pretzels or peanut butter and jelly, more likely. Don't think just foods. Think about people, situations, knock us, give us something a little bit outside the box. So I'm going to take off Bert and Ernie and mac and cheese. Going around the horn, Henry, how about yours?
Yeah, so in honor of the Phillies today, I will go Philly fans and booing. Not showing enough effort. We don't like the game plan. You swing at one too many sliders, low and away. You're going to hear it.
The
And
guy completely turned around the
know.
game with the catch and
I
then has
know.
the game-winning hit, and we're still talking about swinging at sliders far and away.
the duality
Yes.
of man.
Well, no, we did it because
Castellanos we're talking about. by
yeah,
the way.
Castellanos, because he's wildly inconsistent. He's not really effective,
Yeah.
even though he had a good game
he's had a
here.
fantastic second half.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I
that
believe
first,
he saw the first half.
but I
yes.
think people look at the first half. It's, he stole that guy. He's not the guy. And then one more I'll take off. I will go with local movie director Adam McKay and actor Will Ferrell.
Oh,
They've done
okay.
movies such as Anchorman, Anchorman 2, The Other Guys, and Talladega Nights together.
Very
So,
good.
yeah,
yeah.
very
I'm
good.
not a
Good
Will
answer, too.
Ferrell fan. It's a
Yeah, why
tired
not?
type of thing
Come on.
that he's engaged
Is it
in
just
here.
because of
and
The
Step
Office that he
Brothers. I don't know if I
turned-
said Step Brothers.
Oh, in The Office. That was it.
Was that the
I mean,
turnoff
they,
to him?
they should have just pulled him after 30 seconds in The Office.
D'Angelo
I'm never,
Vickers.
yeah. I think he was playing himself. Yes. Dan, what's yours?
How about the combo that combined for the most touchdowns in NFL history, that being Peyton Manning and father of a
Oh,
great
yes.
wide receiver playing for the Cardinals now, Marvin Harrison, local guy here in Philadelphia.
Roman Catholic.
That's wait a minute. Jerry Rice did not combine for, I guess Montana didn't play enough years.
Yeah.
Is that
'cause
it?
then
Okay.
was- yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a fraudulent statistic. Yeah, yeah. They did. They were a great combination.
And a very underrated combo that you don't hear much about besides the Brady Bunch when you're trying to imitate somebody, but that's pork chops and applesauce.
I do
God.
enjoy that.
Right? It's
Okay.
good.
I do enjoy
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we're looking for on the side question. And if you're a Christian, why would you not vote? What the heck is going on in churches that they're not plugged into the election? I'm not saying you have to vote for either candidate, but laying out biblically what are the stakes here? What are some of the issues? What is it that you should be voting for in the mindset of the preacher or pastor or archbishop? So it's 855-839-1210. You got a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless just push pound 1210. I'm thinking Howard Stern is going to have trouble bigger softballs, more cringeworthy than The View today. There were 6 of them there with her. Oh, my God, a murderer's row. They brought in everybody for this with Harris. 855-839-1210.
We're having pork chops and apple shots.
Laura Lee Trump. Now, Kamala Harris lied about working at McDonald's.
I believe there was an episode of The Apprentice or something where he did actually have to work at McDonald's. So between the two of them, Donald Trump can actually say he worked at McDonald's. I would buy some fries for him, though, because I can tell you he knows his McDonald's fries. Don't kid yourself. That's a staple on the airplane when you fly with him.
And Laura, they would be the crispiest fries ever. Unbelievably crispy.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. And on the free Odyssey app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients, and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-682-9928. 800-682-9928. 800-682-9928.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Veneria is and has been my dentist also. And, doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to him, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Veneria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Veneria's office does everything. Dr. Veneria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
We don't care who you vote for in the upcoming election. You know why? Because this is not a political ad. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group meet with people every day wondering if they should be doing something different with their money because it's an election year. At Retire Ready Financial Group, we want you to know where your money is, how it's performing, and if the market does go down, how does it affect your retirement? We call it a portfolio snapshot, and we do it at no charge. Our goal is for you to have confidence as you enter retirement, confidence to spend, and confidence that you won't run out of money. Let's vote those election worries right out of your retirement. For your complimentary portfolio snapshot, call 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or go to retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Tom Giordano's show. Welcome in. Vice President Harris last night, the 60 Minutes interview, Dan, this will be cut 15, was asked. The Whitaker guy, I was kind of surprised. He's kind of low energy, but he kept on just coming back to the same points pretty effectively in the questions that she wouldn't answer. Asked her about, have you ever fired, what kind of gun do you have, and have you ever fired it? Here's what Harris said.
When you know what that is, it's about surrender.
A hard left turn here, but you recently surprised people when you said that you are a gun owner. And then if someone came into your house...
That was not the first time I've talked about it. That's not the first time I've talked about it.
So what kind of gun do you own, and when and why did you get it?
I have a Glock, and I've had it for quite some time.
And I mean, look, Bill, my background is in law enforcement. And so there you go.
Have you ever fired it?
Yes. Of course I have. At a shooting range. Yes, of course I have.
I have a lot of doubts at that. I got to see this here. Now, we had a sponsor, so I fired a gun several times at a shooting range. Not an easy process unless you're familiar at all.
She should post a video of her on the range.
Yes. Yeah, we
She's
should see it.
serious.
Mike Opelka, our buddy, says that he's got $1,000. Come on, Mike, make it a little bit more. He'll go to any target range in our area. He'll show up from 10 feet. Can she even hit anything on the target? Not even inside the bullet, anything at all. And I doubt it. Not only that, we were told a weapon like a Glock, that's anathema. It's almost bordering on an assault weapon. Biden used to say, well, it's fine to have a shotgun in your house, but why do you need anything else? Why does Harris need that, allegedly? We'll see how that story develops. It's shady, like most of this stuff. Here's cut 18. Now, I am not the conspiracy theorist at all, but here is our buddy Elon Musk, fresh off Butler, saying, when asked, why do you think, Elon, so many prominent celebrity figures are throwing their support behind Kamala Harris? Here's his response.
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
All right, so we got the Diddy list. There's a big thing on ABC tomorrow night. And we have the Epstein list still out there. Now, I don't know how many of these celebrities are. I'm trying to think of some of the more recent celebrities. Johnny Legend, I don't think he knew Epstein that I know.
No,
So-
he seems pretty wholesome.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I think he's just saying this.
Okay, well, the list is still out there. I don't know why it didn't get reviewed. Well, Biden was in office, I guess. Or was he? Or was it Trump? Now, Trump is the one always rumored because he knew Epstein. Now, here it could be, well, we know Bill Clinton is the most obvious here. All right. Now, Dan is an aficionado of the no cash movement. In the middle of this election, Philadelphia Inquirer, like 6, 7 printed pages today. What's on their mind? More government control. They don't like the penny. And they say that the Biden administration is making their way toward a central bank digital currency, and that's what they want. They claim Americans are already not using cash. Well, that's not true. Exactly. And it's not just an age divide on this. Why in the world would we want to have a central digital cash? Could we want more government control? Isn't that what the Inquirer really wants? Because they think they're exempt from it, protected by freedom of the press. They say that about 41% of Americans no longer use cash to make most of their weekly purchases. That's a huge jump from 24% who said they rarely use cash in 2015. Conversely, only 14% of Americans make almost all their purchases with cash. Now, I'm really thinking about this, Henry, because Roe just had to get a new credit card. She was just on the phone before I left today because some moron out there using StubHub tried to purchase baseball tickets, I think it was, seven times.
7 times?
Yes. So this is the type of thing that more and more you're going to deal with. Why in the world would, look, if the world is changing toward this and people don't want to use cash, that's fine. I'm not demanding that you use cash. I think you're silly. I think you're short-sighted. But why in the world would everybody else at all times be forced into what the Inquirer says is this nirvana, this utopia of a new digital currency? It would replace all coins and paper money. But unlike privately held cryptocurrency, which businesses aren't legally required to accept, a central bank digital currency overseen by the Federal Reserve Board would be legal tender that could be used to make purchases in any store or restaurant. Then they cite The Bahamas have just rolled out the world's first central bank digital currency. China, Japan, and Sweden have begun digital currency trials. Why in the world do we want to do this? I mean, who is it that is in love with the idea? You know who's in love with the idea. People that like more and more government control, more and more federal government, more and more big government. Don't we already have the best of both worlds? If you don't want to use cash, then use whatever else you're using other than cash. If you do want to use cash, or a hybrid, it's like a hybrid vehicle. Okay, you can use cash or not use cash, one and the same person, depending upon any variety of things. No, this is stuff where more stuff is going to be traced, more of those 87,000 IRS agents, just more prying into our lives. And they're mad because they say the Biden program is exploring this, but they're doing it too slowly. Just think of what it takes to be an Enquirer editor. One of the bigwigs over at the Enquirer. Just think of your mindset. Yeah, why are we not talking about this? And they hate the penny. I don't hate the penny. It's quaint. You don't want your pennies? Give them to somebody else. 855-839-1210. You get a line. Who is it that's behind this, pushing this type of thing? And you don't have to be conspiratorial to the nth degree to think that this is a situation where it is about control. It is about more information. You know, every time this comes up with the cameras, for example, let's lock up more criminals, and then we could talk about more cameras. Or this mania to get into a Phillies game with facial recognition. Why? Why go down this path? Well, it's going to make life a lot easier. I dispute that. Any number of things that can happen here with this, including identity theft. The Enquirer says, yeah, we really haven't fully worked out identity theft with this. That could be a problem. Imagine the headaches. Who benefits by this? And you don't have to be crazed to say it is about control. It's about more knowledge of somebody looking at more of our private lives. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. I'm coming to you. We'll get you in. So we're un-American today. If we're critical, it's misinformation. Oh, by the way, tip of the hat to Henry, Dan, and me, the whole staff on this one. Big issues, big guests is one of the themes of the show. Al Schmidt. Now, Al Schmidt is the Secretary of State for Pennsylvania. And you're saying to yourself, yeah, well, usually that's not that big of a deal. Remember in 2020 when it was. This guy is in charge of the infrastructure of how voting is being conducted now and through the election cycle. Pennsylvania is going to be close. Pennsylvania, I believe, is going to be the determiner of our fate. He's going to be on the show at 1 o'clock on Friday. Al Schmidt, Secretary of State. I'm glad he's coming on. I have several areas to talk about, one of which is it really going to take 2 or 3 days? Do we know the result in Pennsylvania based upon what they know now or what they think? But you can send me your questions. You can call in with them, hit me on Twitter. I'll be collecting them, calling the best ones. And he is very busy. He's meeting with each county, apparently. So we will have a very good sense, I think, of where we are from the guy in charge of all this. And remember how important that was in 2020. It's even more important this time around. That'll be this Friday at 1 o'clock. Mark that one down. You don't want to miss it. All right, 855-839-1210. Jump in. Who is it that wants central bank digital currency? For what purpose? What's the big upside? 855. If you don't want cash, you hate cash, you don't want to carry cash, knock yourself out. Use debit, use credit. I don't care what you do. why are we intruding on herding everyone into the central bank system here with this? And the Inquirer loves this. And what the heck happened to liberals who used to be concerned about the government, about control over our lives, about keeping individual freedom, and now wanting even your money to be part of a central bank? All right, I'm coming to those calls just a second. Well, we're into almost election season. We've talked about back from summer, even though the weather has been pretty good. We're certainly headed into fall soon, and it's always a time when you change a season to think about, all right, what have I been missing? How about the dentist? We tell you that with Dr. Bentz. It is the perfect time. He said every year it's good to remind people. Sometimes it's at the turn of a new year, but now is a good time. Maybe you don't have an official dentist. Maybe you've been unhappy with it. Well, it's a fresh start. Get with Dr. Bentz, my guy, for years. And again, if you're like me over the course of time, maybe you've gone to umpteen dentists. The Bentz difference is that Dr. Bentz is a prosthodontist, first of all. But secondly, he is someone who has tremendous staff, that tremendous infrastructure, so much so that other dentists routinely send patients to him. But he's also great at starting at ground zero with you, developing a plan. Not, you come in this time, we're going to clean your teeth. No, a plan of what you're going to do to take care of things to stay out of major trouble. And that's enhancing your autonomy to make decisions around this. So give them a call at 610-272-6949. Remember, Dr. Bentz, my dentist for all these years, you've heard the stories of the success of various listeners. You can be one of them. You can have great dental care just like that. Get that initial look-see. You evaluate him, he evaluates you. Call 610-272-6949.
California Psychics is America's most trusted psychic network. But don't take it from us. Take it from our customers.
You know, it was probably the best psychic reading I've ever had.
Thank you, California Psychics. You changed my opinion about getting a reading over the phone.
It was definitely worth it, and I would do it again in a second.
That's because at California Psychics, we only connect you with the best. In fact, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us. So we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20.
I've never had a phone call make me so excited for the future.
So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get $5 off with code RADIO5 when you download the app.
This year's election threatens to erode your retirement future.
Susan Sinosky, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Depending on who wins the election, it's going to affect the economy as a whole. Costs are just skyrocketing. Medical costs, housing, food especially. And when was the last time you ever heard of a tax decrease? And I have to say, I have no fear at all because my money is safeguarded with crash-proof retirement. And with our crash-proof retirement system, our money is not just stable, but it's actually increasing much more than we had expected. That money is always added to our principal without anybody getting a cut of that. It's just ours. We earn it, it goes into our account, and it continues to grow and multiply. We have not had a single loss. I'm election-proof. My entire investment for retirement is protected.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Spring Mill Country Club on October 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about your thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
We are locked into a very pleasant weather pattern through the rest of the week. Plenty of sunshine today with a high up around 71. Another clear night tonight and chilly, low 50 for the city and 40s out in the suburbs. And another seasonable day on Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and breezy with a high 71.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, coming to your calls with Dom here at 855-839-1210. As I said, let me know what questions you have for Al Schmidt, who'll be here at 1 o'clock on Friday. Really big guest, considering everything, the fate.
How'd that even happen?
Yeah, it was a good phone call with him yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The fate of the world depends on Pennsylvania, I believe, in the end. And this guy runs the elections, so to speak. We'll see what he has to say about a couple of things like timeliness in getting this done versus a couple days, 3 days, 4. I can't even imagine that. Before I take a call, so I don't forget to bring this up, DJ just sent me this study that indicates American hospitals have taken in $120 million in various sex change procedures. Think about this. How bad it is what we're doing to kids, just the whole craziness of this. And $120 million. There's a lot of money to be made here. You know, not 10 million, not 50, $120 million.
That's crazy.
In what they've been able to connive out of this. And sadly, I mean, it hates to say it, I used to put on the pom-poms, even shave the legs for Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. No longer. That's it. They want to go down that path. I mean, it's not everybody there. We still have some good friends there, but it's one person in charge. They've gone down that path. As long as you're on that path, you're dead to me. I mean, you really are. There's no way around it. I can't say an institution is a good institution if they're engaging in this. $120 million.
You really shaved your legs?
Yes, absolutely. For Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
What else can we get you to shave your legs for?
Maybe
Tom Jones coming on the show?
Yeah, Tom Jones coming on the show. Maybe this election for a Trump win. We'll have to consider that. I don't want to jinx it.
We can get Henry under the desk like Amy Klobuchar's people.
Right. We have to bring in another producer. We need 2 producers on it all the time. Jim is going to have to do that. And eating the salad with her comb. That was even Ro, who doesn't know Klobuchar, every time she comes on, she says, "Is that the woman that had someone shave her legs under the table?" Yes.
It is.
Sounds like she should be president. Let's go to John in Norristown. Hey, John, good afternoon.
Hey, Dom. Hey, central bank digital currency. A horrible idea. I mean, just think about all the informal stuff. You know, like, I love my wife, but she's a little bit of a control freak. She doesn't need to know I went to the Wawa and got a hoagie for lunch. You know what I mean? And I used to work with guys who'd be, you know, like, hey, you know, I keep a little mad money on the side. Let's go grab a 6-pack at the end of the day or something like that. You know, think about like the lawn cutting job you had when you were a kid. No more of that either.
Yeah, lemonade stands. They'll be over there. They'll have them over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, there's that. And then there's also the fact that, you know, they're pushing this universal basic income too.
Right.
The government's going to give you the money. The government's going to be able to tell you what you're allowed to spend because they will right now the technology's there. I'm in IT. You can compartmentalize this stuff. You can say, oh, you got $3,000 in COVID relief.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that $3,000 is in this compartment. You cannot buy cigarettes. You cannot buy ammunition. You cannot buy guns.
Well, wait a minute, John. I see where you're
whatever.
going here, too. Cigarettes, ammo, and gun. I got your point. But
no, but I'm
but John, other than government,
Dirty Harry, watch out.
Yeah, why would the Inquirer be on the side? They're showing us who they are. They just reek of this. That it's the experts that want to control our lives. That's what this is all about.
Yes, there's a class of people. You call them whatever, the elite, the 1%, the overclass, whatever. They're just all aligned on this, and they're. At the heart of it, they're just control freaks.
Yeah.
And there's a point where it becomes evil. And
absolutely.
we're reaching that point.
Thank you, John. I like what he said about the husband and wife. Now, I always, Ro and I differ on this. I just think all the money gets commingled. I don't like this separate accounting stuff and all. But Ro needs to have some side stuff there. And
Ro needs her own fund.
Yeah, she needs her own fund. That I am too stingy when it comes to too much.
It's true.
Spending. So
let Ro enjoy herself every once in a while. Dominic.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
You just bleeds you to death with the small purchase, the art of the small purchase. Do you think $3,000 in cards a year is excessive? There you go.
Like trading cards or like greeting cards?
No, greeting cards of one sort or another.
For what though?
Oh, every sort of.
Does she just know that many people getting married and having
married,
birthdays?
kids, deaths. Think of all the things.
It is really sweet to get a card from Ro, though.
Bar mitzvahs.
With her beautiful handwriting.
Yeah, Henry hasn't got one. I heard you had a soccer injury. Here's a card. Walmart has a card for that.
Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Don't tease it. You know he's getting one.
Yeah. And then she has other people who I will not name that send more cards, so that starts the cards, the Hallmark race.
Do you have like an entire drawer just dedicated to?
Oh, yeah, she does. She has
multiple drawers?
Yes. I'd say one big giant drawer. God knows how many in there that she can pull out at a moment's notice. All right. Joe's got a good one, I think, here.
So is it like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on Joe there.
Yeah.
But is it like a hobby that you go to CVS and she just spends like 5 to 10 minutes looking through the greeting cards to see what she can bring
it's
home
right
with
down
her?
the road from the giant. Gets her walking then, too. Yeah. Oh, God. That
it's like Maisie in a dog shelter. You can't go away without a dog. But for her, it's with greeting cards.
Those Hallmark cards. 3,000 may be a little on the high side. I'd say it's about 2,500. I'm trying to keeping track of this stuff. So inquire. Can we do that? Can you help me with that? Let's go to Joe in Westchester on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Joe, what's your answer to the side question
here
today?
Well, my father, who was a jack of all trades, but he started his own tax accounting business, and I worked for him for a while, and he told me, he called me Joey. He said, Joey, there's only two things certain in life, death and taxes.
There you go. And that progressives are wrong about everything. Let's add that one to it. All right, death and taxes go together, too, as a statement. That's a little bit outside the box. That's what we're looking for. National chocolate-covered pretzels. By the way, I long for the days, I'm not even sure if they're still in business, Reisman chocolate-covered pretzels. The first time they ever let me on WWDB in the afternoon, I had to do the 3 to 6 shift on Thanksgiving Day. So you're thinking, what kind of calls? There were no guests, nothing like that. I had a tin of Reisman pretzels. There were 7 lines. They were still calling in at 7 o'clock. I was off at 6.
just
because
of
the Reisman pretzels. Giant tins. There must have been 200 of them in there, easily. And they knew how to make chocolate-covered pretzels. I'm not sure if they still do. Barry Reisman.
I think they went bankrupt in 95.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
How did America go away from the chocolate-covered pretzel? All right, so today is the day.
Apparently, though, there's a whole article how the Trader Joe's peanut butter-filled pretzels are just as good as Reisman's used to be.
Well, I will give Trader Joe's credit. Yesterday, there was a massive traffic jam, and I'm thinking, what could have happened? It was just bigger than usual getting into their parking lot. It was backed up 3/4 of a block versus the quarter of a block it usually is. Around the clock, that parking lot. I don't want more regulation, but they should be made to get a bigger parking lot. They had guys out there parking cars like it's a rock concert or something. All right.
Believe it or not, he's actually the inventor. Jay Reisman & Sons invented the peanut butter-filled pretzel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I knew they were very good at, but the chocolate cover.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, it just you could use that. You could be on in the middle of the night, and you would have a full board of callers. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Jump in. You're un-American if you're questioning what's happening in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida, I guess, coming up, in the federal government non-response. And yet Harris sits there on The View attacking Trump as callous. And she's just in New York all day long as all this is going on, doing softball throw after softball throw. By the way, Howard Stern starts at 1 o'clock with her. We'll try to give you sound as soon as we have that. Hey, get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, though, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers, you can bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. I'm taking that great quarterback, same-game parlay, Brock Purdy, over passing yards. DK Metcalf, I'm taking under receiving yards. And Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. All you have to do is just visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to make every moment more this season. Now, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your weeknights are getting a whole lot better. With Jimmy Fallon, 7 to 10 p.m.
I met Diddy. Diddy had a restaurant, and he used to walk around with a bottle of champagne in his hands, which is a little weird. You know what I'm saying? If the guy who's the proprietor is drinking straight out of the bottle, it makes you wonder if the Board of Health has some reservations.
And Walter Sterling, 10 to 1.
I hate tolls. I don't believe in them charging $1 more to go over the river. What the hell is that about? What did I get for that going from $5 to $6? These are criminal events.
Jimmy Fallon at 7, Walter Sterling at 10. Weeknights on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Did you procrastinate another summer on getting that old AC unit replaced? Or maybe waited another winter to replace that ancient furnace? Well, stop procrastinating. Now is the time to replace that old AC unit or furnace because our big rebates available. Big ones, up to $2,600 rebates. We've got Pico rebates, manufacturers rebates, Electrical Association rebates, and more. At Marvin E. Cans Inc., we are rebate experts. Contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekanze.com.
Virtua Health, real patients, real doctors, real complex cases. Take one.
I received a kidney transplant at Virtua Health.
Transplants are some of the most complex procedures in medicine.
I thank them for keeping me alive.
We are the only transplant center in South Jersey.
And Virtua is one of the best centers in the country for minimally invasive orthopedic surgery.
I had the hip replacement of the future. I'm back, baby.
Want to follow our stories? Go to virtua.org. Virtua Health, here for good.
Chase believes that having a place of your very own should be accessible for everyone. That's why we're offering homebuyer grants of up to $7,500 in select areas. It's just one of the many ways Chase can make your home buying dreams a reality. Visit chase.com/homebuyer or your local Chase branch. The Chase Homebuyer Grant is available on primary residence purchases only, on select products and subject to eligibility. All home lending products are subject to credit and property approval. Program terms are subject to change without notice. Home lending products provided by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, equal housing opportunity.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet.
I got a list.
Yes, right. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. Well, that will be one of the differences. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened by letting pride get in the way of a good idea.
Yeah.
Right. Listen,
Oh, my goodness. Because you have no ideas of your own. And you have no pride, so it wouldn't get in the way of it. You imagine she had to search for that. Maybe there was some kind of transmission in her ear. Hey, don't forget, say the Republican in the cabinet, because the original thing she said on The View today was, I wouldn't change one thing that Joe Biden did over these years. So we're running against Joe Biden then. That's what this comes down to. Hey, we hope to speak with Loschels.
She's actually on a hold. Henry's screening her right now, so we'll have her in about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Because we had Eric Trump on, and I know somebody sent me this tweet saying something like, get it right, this started in 2016. I know that it did, but I think it really went nuts in 2020 when Eric Trump was campaigning and bought one. Kathleen Loschel is with us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Kathleen,
Hi.
Welcome back to Talk Radio 1210. How many cookies of the election cookies do you think you'll be making today?
Today we made close to 2,000.
Oh my goodness. Gosh! So you probably heard, Kathleen, we had Eric Trump on, and I know that you did this in 2016. Here's what Eric Trump told us though about 2020.
I do, and they're amazing people. In fact, I follow them on Instagram, and I think that the cookie total right now is like 21,000 to, you can give me the exact number, but I saw it last night. It was like 20,000 to like 1,100 or something in favor of Trump. They do Trump Kamala cookies. They did this with Trump Biden cookies, and we're beating her literally like 20-1 in terms of the cookie count. So they're amazing people. It's an amazing family. I know them very well, and I love following them.
Well, he may have overshot. That's why I was trying to pull back from that. What is the official count at this point, Kathleen?
So the official count, and you guys are the first to get it, is Trump 23,060 to Harris 1,673.
Oh, my God. Now,
only to laugh. Sorry, Kathleen.
Yeah, Kathleen.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, Kathleen, what are these people telling you, though? Why do they come? And I see this now. You have people from 50 states, and I saw some foreign reporters there. What do you make of all this? What's going on? It's a lot of fun, but what else is going on with it?
Well, it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, too. I think that anything with the Trump name, people like him. And so they're buying Trump merchandise, and they're getting it shipped all over. I mean, when I update the map next, it's probably going to be mass hysteria against me. But they buy them. They want to support him. But I also think that they want to support a small business.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. Now, do you get any people pushing back and obviously saying you're not being even-handed with any of this stuff?
Yeah, we do. But I say to them, I can't force people what color cookie to buy. I'm going to make them supply and demand. This is capitalism. And if the red cookies are selling, that's what I'm going to make more of. And if they want the blue cookies, they're here. We have them in the store. I'm shipping them. I shipped more this week than I have in previous weeks. But I can't force people what to buy. This is what they want.
Yeah. And Kathleen, it's good because you've hired more people, too. You have more people on. Maybe one of them will be really good. They'll be permanent at some point, give you a break. It's all good. It's all
Isn't this
capitalism.
assigned specifically to icing the cookies their entire day?
So we hired about 7 temporary workers,
Wow.
and that may help through the rest of the year because I do foresee them buying other things because they're not just buying the red cookies, they're coming in and buying donuts and cupcakes and Eagles cookies and now Phillies cookies. So they're adding on to their shipping, and it's a wonderful thing for small business to see this, especially after what we've been through with all these price increases.
Yeah, give us an idea of how that hit you. What is the biggest part of your baking that went up astronomically?
Eggs
Yeah,
tremendously, at
yep.
least 100% in the past year, and then butter. So
Right.
these are ingredients that you need to have every day. There's not a substitution for these items, and when you buy quality products, you have to spend the money.
Yeah,
So
a couple of things too, Kathleen. Where do people go to find you? Maybe online for our listeners, but they're all over the place, is best. Where do they go?
So you can go to lotialsbakery.com, and we're releasing a whole new shipment later on this evening. If you go to our mail order shop, they'll be right there. They're in increments of 6, and then we have them every day in our store available for walk-in purchase.
So you only sell 6 at a time?
Online, but they can get multiple. I mean, people are buying like 2-3 dozen at a time.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you too, since you're so good to come on again, the signature of the bakery stocks. We know the pound cake. What is it with Lotial's?
It's our powdered cream donut.
Ah, okay.
That's our number 1 seller.
All right. Well, Kathleen, what do you predict at this rate? You 23,000 carry the 2. You might top 40,000. Do you think?
I think we're going to get closer to 50,000.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Even on our days off, like yesterday, we're closed on Mondays. We were all here working.
Ah, that's excellent. See, my producer should take a lesson from the Lotials. They were saying, well, they have to take off. And I'm saying, no.
Everyone needs a day off,
This is
right?
a public
Meanwhile, they're
service, though.
working.
These people want this. The cookies are great, but they want to be involved in it, of course.
They do, yeah, and we're just having a great time with it. Honestly, this is a wonderful thing for small business and the people who are coming. I can't tell you how the support has been tremendous for us.
Well, you guys deserve it, Kathleen. We'll check back in before Election Day, but thank you, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good day.
All right, Kathleen Lotial here, 23,060. I mean, there were 3 at least. There were supposed to be anyhow. I was in one in Wildwood of Trump stores. Wildwood isn't that big and off-season. How could it support that? The merchandise? And there had to be 75 items in the one that was on Jersey Avenue.
You think Wildwood's rife with them? You should see Myrtle Beach, Dom.
Yeah,
Boardwalk at the beach, like in South Carolina. Every other store is a Trump store. You walk in, and it's all pro-Trump shirts. Everything down there is pro-Trump.
And we've said this before: the rallies and the stores, that's great, but you can't measure the result of winning. There's only one vote that counts. And how do we get people to do that and get to that finish line? It's there. And if you would do this, go to this trouble. People waiting for the cookie results, 23,060 to 1,673. I don't know. I suspect the Democrats are stuffing the cookie box there. I think it's probably under 1,000. They just came in and said, give me 1,000, just to make the number respectful.
I want to bring back just a beautiful moment that happened the night of Trump Jr. When you had him. The wife of Sid Weiss, the late Sid Weiss, felt that in his honor, because it's something he would do, she drove all the way out to Lotial's Bakery, then back to Collingswood with just a ton of cookies for the staff and just saying in honor of Sid. And it's just things like that you have from Trump supporters that I don't think you see elsewhere. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, it is one of a kind. Now, does it add up to election? We'll see. All right, it's 855-839-1210. You got the digital currency going on. At 1:30, we're going to talk with the former Lieutenant Governor of California about Trump going to Redding, Latino belt. And wait till you hear this story in the 2 o'clock hour. Why would a school district put windows, and not small ones, in gender-inclusive bathrooms to look in? All straight ahead. Talk Radio 1210.
The following is a paid commercial message. A lot of congressmen talk about real results, but Brian Fitzpatrick actually delivers for real people like Tom.
I believe that Congressman Fitzpatrick does have his finger on the pulse, does feel the needs of businesses, and recognizes what small businesses mean to Main Street America.
Janice.
I would say 100% that I support Brian Fitzpatrick for Congress. I know that he has our interests at heart. He's just really a man of great integrity.
And Pete.
Congressman Fitzpatrick is very responsive, especially to veterans' needs. I can't think of any other person I'd rather see as my congressman than Brian Fitzpatrick.
Delivering for Pennsylvania. That's Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick. Vote on or before Election Day, November 5th. Paid for by America's Credit Unions PAC of Credit Union National Association, Inc., americascreditunions.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. America's Credit Unions PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Are you worried about your roof handling the next storm?
At Emmons Roofing and Siding, we provide top-quality roofing services that fit your budget and stand the test of time.
And our team of roofing experts ensures your home stays safe and dry with durable, reliable roofing solutions to any problems you may have. Plus, at Emmons, we offer free inspections and free estimates.
So call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. They're threatening to close your business. If debt has your business on the brink, call Ray Reynolds, the godfather of credit. For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped thousands of customers get millions in cash credit. It's no wonder why they call Ray the godfather of credit. He may even be able to raise your score above 750 before the end of the year. You could even get a new personal or business credit line up to $50,000 within days. If your credit needs a rebuild, call Ray Reynolds and receive a $1,000 cash credit card at closing. Raise your credit score to 750 or more. Call Ray Reynolds at 800-576-2295. 800-576-2295. Learn about Ray's secrets to success and how he can fix and improve your credit score to 750 or more. Call the godfather of credit rebuild, Ray Reynolds, at 800-576-2295. 800-576-2295.
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. When we say we hope you're never involved in an accident, we mean it. But if you are injured in an accident, we'll work quickly and tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. And when we also say we only get paid when your case is over and you get paid, we mean it. Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. So, Vice President Harris, now the second softball contest today with Howard Stern. My prediction is that Stern is not so much going to ask her what would she do about this and the other, as much as just attack Trump and try to get her to join in because, again, the one time that he sniped at me extensively, Stern, he didn't like it because it's obvious what he's done. He wants to be taken seriously, legacy and all that. It was disgraceful, particularly with Hillary Clinton. Come on. These are the people he would skewer.
JD sends me everything. There's a radio announcer in Philadelphia named
Not an
Dom
announcer,
Giordano.
talk show host, you dope.
Who, you heard of him?
No.
I had never heard of him either. He was slamming me, saying that I'm some sort of expert. No, I'm not an expert, you moron.
He's just like you. He's dumb Giordano.
Yeah. And by the way, Donald's no expert either on walls.
See, there we go.
Dumb Giordano.
There we go. I didn't say he was an expert. I said he wants to be taken seriously. It's an obvious thing. He crawls with it. Mark Cuban, even more. They think, remember Stern played with the idea of running to be governor of, was it Jersey or New York? I think it was New York, but maybe it was Jersey. And he had rest stops named after him. I think there was one named after him at a point. Sure, why wouldn't he? He get tired of doing the other nonsense. He doesn't want to do that anymore. The COVID nonsense that he talks about. So he's a bit adrift, and he sees Trump rising to be president of the United States. Yeah, well, it took a lot, and you might get shot, too, if you're in the public arena in that way. Would you want to go through that? All right, Mark Cuban didn't. Howard Stern doesn't. Everybody talks about it till they get to the starting gate, and they go, wow, just think of what this will be like. This is endless, the scrutiny and the things that go into it. So we'll play you what he asked Harris, but I think it'll be in that vein. Will he demean himself on a scale of 1 to 10 at an 8 or 9 where he just is gushing about her? I don't think he's going to gush about her. I think it's going to be mainly going after Trump. If he gushes about her, even for where Stern is now, that's pretty bad. Will he bring up anything that's uncomfortable? I don't think so, because she's good. Even if you do bring up something that's uncomfortable, she's not going to answer. It's all in the follow-up. And there's no way that I could see Stern following up if he asked something that was uncomfortable. Now, the ladies on The View, they weren't intending to do it. They anointed her president of the United States. They asked her, well, how are you different than Joe Biden? And they didn't do it in an accusatory manner. They just kind of blurted it. It was a question. And she basically said she would have done exactly what Biden did. Well, she did say that. Then she went back and said, well, I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet. Wow. So we're running against Biden.
Big
again.
difference there.
We're
really
running.
dug there.
We're running against Biden's policies. That's what this comes down to. All right. So 855-839-1210. You get on board.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of
Yeah, she's been a part of all of these decisions, et cetera. Now, Will Bunch, progressive over at the Inquirer, says with this hurricane headed to Florida, with what we've seen in Georgia and mainly in North Carolina, he says this will be the first climate election. In other words, people are going to be voting on climate, buying into the idea that all these hurricanes, and I say all, I'm saying that because they're back-to-back here. I know that this is random. Second major hurricane, Cat 4 storm, will propel them to say, look at these dopes on the Republican side. They're antagonistic to that idea. I say, my grand thought of the day is, if Republicans can gather themselves up, the discipline, think Vance, and make the case with data points, facts, compelling personal stories, look at what Biden and Harris have not done here. Look at FEMA. Look at FEMA not having the funds that are needed explicitly around this because of what they've done. We played you it with illegal immigrants. Look at the money pledged to Ukraine. Look at the money Harris wants to send to Lebanon, to the Lebanese, and make that case. This could turn the election again, bringing home, it's an inflection point. We're seeing the October surprise right here in action. This is what big federal government, what the Biden administration, Harris, this is what they're all about. People are left to figure out what to do for themselves. There is a Green Beret group. Now, these guys are hard to reach. Hey, we did get Al Schmidt on, though, Henry, so, the day's young. Maybe we can get them on. They call themselves the Redneck Air Force. They're former special ops. And listening to these guys, you can tell there's something they yearn for, and that's a mission. And this gives them that mission. This is cut 21.
When this area got hit and I saw what was happening, I diverted down here to run air operations for what Savage Freedoms is doing. We're staging out of a business that just got massacred, but they're giving us the property to work an emergency operations center out of here. This mission out here is slowly turned into the recovery aspect of it. So today alone, we've had numerous supply runs with requests from medical supplies to O2 to personnel rescue to recons in the areas we haven't been yet. Resupplies are going into the regions that cannot be accessible by ground, and some of that is even by horseback or UTVs. The bridges are blown, so our recon teams are telling us where we can and cannot send vehicles, and we're dropping birds right on top of them with resupplies, or we're reaching out even further. We are communicating via Starlink. Let's be very clear, this region of the world is talking because of Starlink and SpaceX. So that's what's happening here outside of Asheville, North Carolina.
All right, so there you go. Now, Asheville, David Axelrod making this point, is kind of like an Austin in Texas. It's a liberal area, liberal city there in the middle of it, and they seem to be fairly taken care of. The other voters are Trump voters. Now, we've been asking, then I'm going to go to the cars. So we've been asking, Well, what's going to happen with voting? What will happen with that? And apparently the North Carolina Election Board has rescinded a lot of obstructions to make sure people are going to be able to vote. Now, I know you can say, yeah, but is there going to be cheating? Well, 26 of the 28 counties hit here are Trump counties in 2020 and 2016. So definitely getting these people to the polls, I know it seems a long time, it's a month away, is still going to be a challenge. We got a meteorologist. We'll play this in a minute, Dan. John Morales, I just saw it on Fox 2, breaking down during his report in Florida. But Susan is in Philly. She's next on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Susan, good afternoon.
Hi, Dom. How are you?
Good, Susan.
So I've been wanting to call in for quite a while now. I've worked for the county of Bucks for, let's say, 40 years. And back in 2020, emails went out to all employees about coming to work for the Board of Elections because they knew how busy it was going to be for the election. And we went over there and we just couldn't believe how backwards everything was done in that office. They had people everywhere not knowing what they were doing, us included.
Mm-hmm.
We had no training. We could not, half the time we were not sure. We didn't know what we were doing. And we made up our own rules, basically. If we couldn't find somebody to question, they have people coming in from all over the county to do these mail-in ballots, applications. The first night we were there, we said that we didn't see any Republicans. We saw I did not get one Republican application for a mail-in ballot, which we all thought was weird. And when we all left that first night, we said somebody should call the White House because even if it's not something to live, this cannot
Well,
be
Susan,
fair.
you don't have to call the White House. I mean, what people ought to do if they see any irregularities specifically, they can tell us. We'll tell someone like Linda Kearns, and they'll run this down. So if anything is happening
I've been calling in actually and like trying to get through, but I just never wait. But I've been wanting to do this because once again, they've sent out emails for people all over the county to come and help do this. And no one knows what they're doing. There's no training. Now, whether or not they've updated things in the office, but from then, I don't know because.
All right. Well, Susan, I would say this. Let us know if you get into that situation. If it's ongoing, you can call. You can tell the producers. They'll tell me, and we'll have someone check on it. Thank you, Susan. Thanks very much. Look, we try to run these down. We have Al Schmidt coming on. I wrote myself a note here. I'm going to ask him about training in these county offices if you're bringing people in. You can submit questions to me. He's the head of elections in Pennsylvania. He'll be the guy in the most consequential state in the most consequential way, 1 o'clock on Friday. And, of course, we have Linda Kearns, people like that, Scott Presler there. When, they had that phony stuff of maintenance, I'm going to ask him about the maintenance. Why would you be doing maintenance on your computer during the Trump rally? You know how that looks? Now, they did pull it back, but who in the world would order something like that? And he may say, come on, people are being too conspiratorial. That'll be 1 o'clock on Friday. All right, you don't want to miss that one. Thanks to Dan and Henry and just an all-out effort here to bring you people like this. All right, side question today. National Chocolate-Covered Pretzel Day. Hit us with something that's fits together perfectly, almost like peanut butter and jelly. Could be people, could be things. It could be a food. You can hit us with that. Now, here is John Morales, the meteorologist down in Florida. They're starting to experience, difficulties with Milton already, and I'm not sure, don't want to misspeak, of when it will hit the worst. But here's the meteorologist who just couldn't take it.
Incredible hurricane. It has dropped It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific. Maximum sustained winds are 160 miles per hour, and it is just gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico, where you can imagine the winds. I mean, the seas are just so incredibly hot, record hot, as you might imagine. You know what's driving that. I don't need to tell you. Global warming, climate change, leading to this and becoming an increasing threat for the Yucatan, including Mérida and Progreso.
All right, so the meteorologist, I get the emotion there. You're going to see more and more of that. Not the emotion, that's good, I'm fine with that. But then just casually slipping this in, I don't need to tell you it's climate change and all that. Are we really going to see this as a climate change election? Or are people going to take a look at the suffering in North Carolina and say to themselves, this is just plain evidence? And what is the remedy for this? It's always America first, not Ukraine, not Lebanon, certainly not illegal immigrants. It's a common sense thing. When do we reach the metric of taking care of Americans, be they veterans, be they people in this situation, be they worthy people by whatever standard you use, before we turn our attention to all this other stuff? And let's face it, people like Biden, Harris, and all they don't see it that way. I think they have antagonism toward this area. Some of it's that. Not Biden and Harris per se, but maybe they do, because they know it's rural. That's Trump voters. They don't like that. By the way, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm tuned in on my left ear to the Sirius interview.
Yes.
We can't bring it because of copyright issues directly on, obviously. But man, is this a vitriol? This is the most vitriolic I've seen Kamala Harris yet.
Oh, about Trump?
Trump saying he's going to be a dictator on day one. He's weak. We need strength under power. Saying he'd be a coward when dealing with foreign affairs. It's
so he's a dictator, but he's weak at the same time. This is the type of stuff that they engage in. And what's Stern's posture in this?
He's dangerous. She just said too.
Former chief of staff.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad we'll play some of this when we're cleared with it. When it's not live, I guess.
Have said he is unfit to be commander-in-chief and is dangerous.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. Howard, tell a joke or two here. Interrupt. Bring out a stripper here a little bit. Yes. So apparently, Danny's not gushing over her as much as he's aiding and abetting. And let's go wilder here about the Trump stuff. And then let's lecture on the rhetoric.
It's all like, how could he? And
right. Yeah. Stern or
no Stern.
Stern.
All the other questions are like, how could he even imagine thinking this? And what a guy to do something like that.
All right. One of the things, make this point about it, and Roe doesn't understand when I do it too. Trump is an out loud thinker, and sometimes it seems ridiculous if he said this to somebody. But, out loud thinking is how you move toward another point. In other words, you might say, Henry, why can't you just run on the other leg then? What the hell are you doing here limping on that one leg here? Come on, suck it up. Nothing's wrong with your calf.
Just asked, what was going through your mind during the debate when he was talking about those cats and dogs in Haiti?
Oh, God. Yeah, not the question, though. And now, look, Trump gave them ammo with this. Not the question, though, you creeps. You're in the Hamptons, probably worth $100 million, whatever it is. Why don't you go and see for yourself what it's like in these people in Springfield, Ohio? All right? That's the real issue. It's been documented. So if not cats and dogs and all that we've been through, isn't that the real core issue here? It's always the masquerade. That's why I said with North Carolina, Trump has to be disciplined to make the case. They don't care. They're ineffective, and they've given money away to illegal immigrants. And that's why people in North Carolina are seeing such difficulty.
I'm just listening to this interview, and I'm like, didn't this just guy, he just had 2 assassination attempts on his life.
Yeah, exactly right. There's nothing with that that's restraining with that says, let's stick away from the danger and the Hitler and end of democracy. All right, 855-839-1210. you'll get on. Glad to see Howard's in the running with The View for allowing craziness to go on here today. And Colbert tonight's probably hearing all this and saying, oh, man, what do I have to let her do? AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-682-9928. 800-682-9928. 800-682-9928.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano show. So we'll play you. Oh, Dan is right. It is remarkable, the in-depth interviewing skills of Howard Stern. Oh, what a genius. We all owe him a debt of gratitude in radio. We can never shine like this guy. But he's mainly talking to Kamala Harris about, well, you know, we had the border bill. And I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe other people blame this Langford guy. Byron Donalds, who would be, I would pay a pay-per-view to see Byron Donalds in the ring with Howard Stern. Byron Donalds is the one I cite on the border bill. He put out the top 10 reasons why that bill was completely deficient. But clowns like Jim Langford from Oklahoma, they were hell-bent to make it bipartisan, to push it and vote for it right before the election. So Trump can't say it, and J.D. Vance can't say it. I'll say it. The bill was flawed. But on top of that, they go 3.5 years inundating America with an invasion. And then they want to be bailed out by a bill they won't follow. And the first chance they get, if elected, they'll start to chip away at it completely. Why are Republicans so dumb to allow them to have some kind of vague talking point here that they're serious about the border? The only thing they're serious about is changing America. So you're going to hear that again and again and again. And I can't get inside the mind of these Republicans like Langford of Oklahoma who did this. Lindsey Graham's another one. They want to grandstand. They want to say they're solving a problem. All they're doing is helping to elect progressives. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. You just push pound 1210. The FCC revoked Starlink funds for rural areas in 2022. It's Elon Musk that's bailing those people out. Coming up, we're going to talk with the former Lieutenant Governor of California under Arnold Schwarzenegger. Had him on, brilliant call about Trump and a place like Reading, Latino Belt in Pennsylvania. Now's a great time, though, to call and visit your nearest Captain Chucky's. Let them handle your meal planning. The fan favorite, always remember, number one in your lineup, the Smith Island Crab Cake Jumbo Lump. And don't forget that mega colossal crab cake, delicious. October and time to stock up. Check out the variety of homemade soups, too. And you got a meal. Salads, appetizers, desserts, they're all there. Captain Chucky's has several choices, too, of the breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. I like the non-breaded, but there's literally a crab cake for everybody. Their Gulf shrimp, huge hit, always wild caught, never farm raised. And my favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today. Just go to welovecrabcakes.com. You'll see there's one very near you. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Head it to the shore. Don't forget Captain Chucky's at the shore.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
We are locked into a very pleasant weather pattern through the rest of the week. Plenty of sunshine today with a high up around 71. Another clear night tonight and chilly, low 50 for the city and 40s out in the suburbs. And another seasonable day on Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and breezy with a high 71.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
I've been covering the border for years, and so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
And he went back to that word quadrupled. He just sat there. I think that Whitaker guy was channeling the NBC Lester Holt. But you didn't. I didn't go to Europe either. I was waiting for her to just say, I didn't go to Europe. You're darn right I didn't go to the border. All right, Abel Maldonado, former lieutenant governor of California, came on with us a while back as we started to see this increasing surge for a Republican by President Trump, who's going to be in Redding tomorrow night, which is a majority Latino city. I think it's in the mid-60s or so of that population in Redding. So this is really, and there are about 600,000 people in Pennsylvania who identify as Hispanic by various methods that are out there. So this is a big deal to turn this state. Let's go to Abel Maldonado on Talk Radio.
68.9%.
Wow.
In 2020 census.
That's amazing.
Hey, Dom. Good morning.
Hey, Lieutenant Governor.
Dom?
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We had a lot of great conversation with you, so we wanted to do it as soon as possible. You heard us say Redding is close to 69% Latino. And for a while, it has been climbing, every year. I'm sure in California, you probably have cities that are majority Latino. And I wanted to ask, because Redding seems to be governing, Abel, a bit more red than blue. For example, if in Philadelphia, we have this problem with people flying around in vehicles, unregistered, ATVs and all that, they get them and they crush them in the public square in Redding. What do you see when you get Latinos that are not a cog of the Democrat Party, but are actually in charge, say, of a city?
Well, all I can say, Dom, is you go back, and I'm in Santa Barbara County. I'm in California at this moment. That's why I said good morning. This is Reagan country. Reagan was from Santa Barbara County, and he said it. Latinos are Republican. They just don't know it. And what has happened is that the Democrat Party has taken a full carte blanche of kind of going after Latinos because the Republican Party really hasn't done a good job of reaching out to Hispanics. Hispanics want a closed border. Hispanics want to be safe in their home. Hispanics want better jobs. And that's the message that President Trump's been talking about. So that's why, Dom, let me give you this number here. 46 to 48% of Hispanics are supporting President Donald J. Trump. That's unheard of. George W. Bush was in the 30s. Mitt Romney was in the 20s. And they're clamoring for Donald J. Trump. And the question is why? Because he's serious about closing the border. He's serious about not letting these criminals come across and take their jobs. It's a very easy dynamic that we have here, Dom, and we need to continue to push forward. I think these numbers are astronomical, and the Democrats don't know what to do. Their head's spinning.
And Abel, those numbers, too, in the beginning, it was Latino men. So the other day on MSNBC, they said, well, it's obvious these Latino men, black men, and white men, they're misogynistic. That's why they're going with Trump. But we're starting to see Latino women also make that move.
Absolutely. You go to a Hispanic woman, Latino woman, and what's your biggest issue? And they're saying, we want to be able to feed our family. What's your second big issue? We want to be safe in our home. Well, the border is wide open. Kamala Harris opened the floodgates, and this notion, Dom, that, President Trump killed the immigration bill. That wasn't an immigration bill. That was an amnesty bill. The first line item of that bill was $60 billion to Ukraine. That was crazy. So I think Hispanics are smarter than people give them credit for. That's why they're saying we're going to switch over to Trump.
Yeah. Abel, you've been in the business as lieutenant governor. California has mudslides and a lot of exotic, really bad weather things. In a political sense, it's shocking that Biden and Harris are not doing a better job in North Carolina, a bit in Georgia, even if they don't care, even if it's not top of mind for them. You would think with an election on the doorstep, they would be able to do more.
Dom, I actually was an acting governor at one time, Governor Schwarzenegger, several times, but one time I was acting governor during an emergency, a state of emergency. At that time, Governor Schwarzenegger was in Asia. And there is nothing more important when there is a national disaster or a statewide disaster of putting yourself on the boots, on the ground, there to help the people that are affected. And for Kamala just to show up one day and a FEMA backdrop, not even take a question from a local reporter about what she's doing about it, says it all. This is all politics for her. And I'm glad that people are finally seeing who Kamala Harris is. I've been trying to tell people for 6 months who she is. There's someone there, but really no one's there. I mean, you get elected in California just because you have a D by your name. You don't have to campaign. You don't have to talk about the issues. So finally, America is seeing who Kamala Harris is. And we're witnessing right off the mat. Today we're witnessing. What'd she say today? They asked her, what would she do different than Joe Biden? She says, there is not a thing that comes to my mind. So this is a change election, Dom.
Yes.
Dom, this is a change election, Dom. And she said, there's nothing that comes to my mind that I would do different. She's continuity. The American people want change. This election's easy. It's an easy vote. Easy vote for Latinos, Dom. We've lived under Kamala's economy, and we've lived under Trump's economy, and it is night and day.
Yeah, I mean, it makes Gavin Newsom look competent to me when I put the two alongside. And I'm not saying that in any real sense, but without a doubt. I just saw, Abel, that on Fox, Trump is winning with Latino men, actually winning 51-38 in 4 swing states with Latino men 18-34. In addition to the broader thing, why would that group actually give the Republican now the majority?
I've always said, Dom, that if the Hispanic vote, men and women, if we're north of 40%, this race is over. It is over. And why are Hispanic men with Trump? They want somebody that has strength. They want somebody that tells them the truth. And they're tired of politicians. They don't want politicians. And let me share this with you, Dom. President Trump was president for 4 years. He's still not a politician. He has nothing to do with politicians. 4 years isn't going to change him of who he really is, and that's what Hispanic men are looking at. They want somebody with strength. And when they look at Kamala, what does she say? She went to Guatemala to stop the caravans coming up, and her line was, "Don't come. Please don't come." Are you serious?
That's right. You probably, I don't see how you would, but Redding is in a critical belt where Latino voters are, and 69% of the city is Hispanic. And as I said, it's governing more conservative than a lot of, it's a pretty fair-sized city, too. What is it that Trump should emphasize, in your view? What should he drill down on again?
I don't want President Trump to change his message at all.
Okay.
Number one, the economy. And number two, seal the border. Close this border. We don't know who the hell's in our country today. We saw those numbers that 13,000 murderers were released by Kamala Harris. We don't know where they're at. How could that be? I mean, how could someone want a promotion to be president and allows 13,000 murderers to run free in our country, and they're waiting for their court date. You think they're going to show up? But that's why Latinos are going toward Trump, because they don't want that either. So Kamala's message works great in California. It works great in San Francisco. It does not work great in the swing states. I just came back from Pennsylvania. I was there for 3 days. I was in Scranton. I went to Butler. I was in Pittsburgh. People want change. People want change, and they're not looking to change toward a politician. They're looking to change toward a strong businessman. That's Donald J. Trump.
Absolutely. Abel, I wish we had known. If you're ever in the area, we got to get you in studio, get you a cheesesteak or something else here in Philadelphia. Let us know. We'll hopefully talk with you again before the election.
Appreciate you, Dom. And I'll take you up on the offer.
All righty. Thank you. Abel Maldonado. But Fox just put up a swing state poll. Hispanic men 18 to 34. Now, my theory with Trump is this, too, though. There are very few Republicans that have that sizzle to get people to open up to you that Trump does. Once they do, the policies are there. He's exactly right. Reading is going to be, I knew Reading was majority Latino, but close to 69%. And this is a vote, Scott Presler told us yesterday, if they can get him out, that is definitively Trump and could be the difference maker in Pennsylvania. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Don't forget, we're looking for today something that, or someone, a duo, that fits together as well as peanut butter and jelly. National Chocolate-Covered Pretzels Day. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to talk with this legal center in the middle of this controversy where gender-inclusive bathrooms, windows were put in so you could see what's going on inside. I'm not making it up. It's in Pennsylvania. And tonight, Central Bucks, apparently their goofy school board, is going to vote to put males back in female sports. I have something coming up from Scientific and American, which just shows you they may be in America, but they're not scientific anymore. What they say, a comparison between men and women athletes. And we have some Dan time here with some audio from his former big boss. That's right, Big Dan and Howard Stern. How tall is Stern? About 6'3"?
Like taller, 6'5", I would say.
Oh, is he? Okay.
First thing he said to me when I met him first time face to face, was it's nice to see eye to eye with somebody. Right?
God.
One of those corny lines.
Oh, God.
I like it.
Okay. All right. I don't think you can offer any defense after today, though. The vitriol.
It's bad. It's so gushing for Kamala, and I have an example of what's pretty clearly a written question for him that he has to read and such. I'll have that all.
Did Robin say anything today?
I have not heard her. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hope they pick it up again. Oh, that guy's still hitting me. Yeah. Let's get you on the show. Let's get away from your man. I wonder. I guess he was in New York. He's not in the mansion anymore. He deigned to come in.
No, he's wearing a suit today again.
Oh, God.
Big day.
Oh, big day.
It doesn't look like the Crypt Keeper.
855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Let's talk about my buddies over at Martin Water. You know, my friends at Martin Water Conditioning are celebrating their 51st year with their annual anniversary sale. Now through the end of October, save on better water for your entire family. Ro and I have enjoyed crystal clear drinking water for years thanks to Martin Water Conditioning. Great opportunity for you to do the same. The Martin Water family is incredible to work with. Nobody, our guy Dwayne, when he comes out, they're passionate about water. They really want you to have the very best. You can save up to $500 on select systems for your home. You want to improve your drinking water? Martin's is offering $100 off the Connecticut's K5 reverse osmosis system. And if you purchase a water softener, you may be eligible for a free Kennex salt monitor, which is worth over $150. Special 18 and 48-month financing is available to those who qualify. Save now through the end of October. These deals are mutually exclusive and will not last long. Visit martinwater.com, martinwater.com. All the details. Schedule that free water test. It's free. Do that today. martinwater.com.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre. $53.78. That includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Chase wants everyone to be able to have a place of their own. That's why we offer mortgages that help you purchase your new home with down payments as low as 3%. To find out more about our low down payment options and other ways Chase can make your home buying dreams a reality, visit chase.com/homebuyer or your local Chase branch. Loan amount, loan value, and loan product type limits apply. Geographic restrictions may apply for jumbo loans. Products are subject to credit and property approval. Program terms are subject to change without notice. Other limitations and restrictions apply. Home lending products provided by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, equal housing opportunity.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Civic Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-224-8517. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-224-8517. 800-224-8517. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here to tell you why Family and Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. You can choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area, or you can have their master jewelers create a custom one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at familyjewelers.com. That's familyjewelers.com. Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time
I can handle things. I'm smart, not like everybody says.
with Dom.
Dom, what a disappointing day here. As somebody, Dan here, by the way, producer Dan, taking over the Dom Giordano program. For somebody that used to work for Stern, to see such a fall here, a guy that's completely doing a scripted interview, blowing smoke up the rear end of Kamala Harris, Dom, and it's nonstop. I got some clips here. Do you want to go through them? Because I had planned a segment here about predictions for tonight, Phillies and all. But it's your call, Dom.
Oh, yeah, let's go through it. And I think you're onto something. It appears that the questions were agreed on, or some of them were, anyhow.
It really seems that way, because out of the gate, Dom, when she first walks in, they talk about their shared love of Prince. But right out of the gate, Dom, the first question, it's almost like you can hear Howard checking his notes, correcting himself. Take a listen to the first question out of the gate.
You've said sort of running for office, even when you ran, as a DA or attorney general, it was like... you said, I don't like talking about myself. It feels I was raised not to be a narcissist. And here the other guy is so only talking about himself. Yeah. But it's weird. It's odd for you to talk about your accomplishments and sort of congratulate yourself.
Oh, first of all, the ultimate narcissist in Stern here. But then, I'm sorry, Dan. You want to play?
No, I want clip reaction through this entire thing, Don.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, then Harris is not a narcissist either. Look, in big-time politics, you have to be. I mean, talk radio. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to do it. You got to do it. No, we are. We like it. Stop it already.
You want to hear her answer?
Yes.
I just have always, again, you're right. I was raised this way. It's not about you. It's about what you do. Right. And so it is. It feels immodest to me to talk about myself, which apparently I'm doing right now.
Right. But you have to, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this is it. You're running for office.
And a friend of mine actually said, look, this is not a time to worry about modesty, because this is, obviously, you got to let people know who you are.
This is? That was, Dom, a producer giving Howard a command from the Kamala Harris team that says, you know what, we're going to do the Howard Stern interview, but we know how things work on this. It's going to be a long-form interview where we're delving into kind of weird topics. We got a hurricane going on. So first question out of the gate, we want to set the stage here that, you don't like talking about yourself, but we're going to do it anyway for the next hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good insight. So, try to take away some of the sting of the hurricane and show that Trump is immodest, of course.
How about 60 Minutes, Dom? Howard offered his thoughts on Trump not doing the 60 Minutes interview.
You're coming here. You went on The View this morning. Yeah. You're going to the shows. You did 60 Minutes. By the way, I thought what was so amazing about 60 Minutes is the fact that Trump turned it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it just says so much. He didn't want to be fact-checked. This is maddening. This is insanity. What do you mean you don't want to be fact-checked?
I think that, Howard, people ask me, what do you think is going on, and what is the tension here? What's at stake? And there are many things, and I can be much more articulate than what I'm going to say. But ultimately, I do believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness.
We did ask her about 60 Minutes, right?
And weakness as projected by someone who puts himself in front of the American people and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires, the work that must happen to...
It really sounds like Kamala's team just fed her a comment that was said about her and had to turn it against Donald Trump.
Yeah, and Stern, I don't even know what question I asked here. It doesn't matter as we go forward here. Again, with Stern, it gets into who possibly is listening to this. I even question with her how much value there is in doing the interview with Stern to help her electorally. I don't really see it.
Who still listens to Stern? Incels still listen to Stern.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the thing that scares me is when you have hateful rhetoric like what I'm about to play, where you're propping up conspiracy theories, and you have 2 assassination attempts on a former president's life running for office, you would think you might want to tone it down a little bit, right, Dom?
Well, that Crooks guy, if there's anybody that's an incel, the guy who shot at him in Butler, that guy seems to crawl with it to me.
Right.
So, let's hear it.
That's what we stand for as Americans, that you don't do that. And if you do that...
Sorry, irony here. She's talking about Ukraine and how you don't stand and allow someone like Russia to invade Ukraine while essentially supporting Palestine. But no comment there, but continue.
To our friends, we're going to stand with our friends. you're getting played. And some would say, look, I grew up in the neighborhood.
Wait, I thought you grew up middle class.
Yeah, the neighborhood Oakland we shift to again when she grew up in Montreal mainly. Okay.
Some would say you're getting punked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you stand in favor
Hip
of
talk here, Howard.
somebody who's an adversary over your friends on principles that we all agree on. And you look at it, it's not only that. He says he's going to be a dictator on day one. Understand what dictators do. They jail journalists. They put people who are protesting in the street in jail.
He said he thinks he wants to go after Jimmy Kimmel, a comedian. He wants to go after Stephen Colbert.
Alleged comedian.
Even if someone had said years ago when I remember presidential races, if someone said, "Oh, Kamala Harris isn't a black woman," they would have been out of the. They would have been out of the. Yeah. That would have been it. Would have been over. I mean, how do you challenge that?
All right, the bottom line, he almost got into it there with her, Dan. He hates not just Trump, but he hates you if you're a Trump supporter. That's what it's about with Stern, too. He said it on many occasions, and he was almost ready to go off there to that.
And woe is me, finally. Kamala's not been able to sleep recently, apparently.
But to your point, I literally lose sleep and have been over what is at stake in this election. I mean, honestly, I end the day pretty much every day these days asking myself, what can I do more?
Yeah. And what can you do?
Stakes are so high.
You're going out.
Gosh, Dom, what a fall from grace.
Lighter campaign schedule than almost any candidate we've seen. You can go, Howard, to North Carolina. Why don't you go there, entertain, and raise some money for them? All right, coming up, we're going to talk with the Independence Law Center. They're in the middle of something almost hard to believe, and it's around these transgender bathrooms. But a school district said they were advised to put a window to look into them, into the, it doesn't have to be your biological sex bathroom is the best way of explaining it. What? And they did it.
That's nuts.
All right, and we have Dom's Money Melody. We'll
YouTube.com/@12WPHT too. I was just offered some Lunchables if I stopped playing clips from Stern. So
okay.
might have to take them up on that.
There's a new Lunchable out by somebody. They said it's worse than the other one. I think it's a wrestler, but okay. We'll have to play a little bit more Stern. I mean, and then tomorrow, Colbert will have, wow. It's a trifecta here on Talk Radio 1210.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Got a roofing problem? Don't let it ruin your day.
Emmons Roofing and Siding offers professional roofing services, from repairs to complete lifetime warranted replacements.
And you can trust our experienced team to keep your home safe and secure. And we can even handle insurance claims for you.
Give us a call today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on the web at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
This Saturday morning at 10, tune into a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Get the latest news and information that affects your health and wellness. This Saturday, October 12th at 10 a.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, It's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Gather your family and friends for the Buddy Walk and Family Fun Day on Sunday, October 20th at Lincoln Financial Field. Let's celebrate individuals with Down syndrome and have a fun morning. Proceeds benefit CHOP's Trisomy 21 program and the National Down Syndrome Society. Learn more at buddywalk.chop.edu.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in, everyone. And we'll be back to Howard Stern debacle today and other things presidentially, including Joe Biden praising DeSantis, who's in a dispute with Vice President Harris, and it seems like Biden has been, for the last couple of weeks, undercutting Harris. It's pretty obvious to me. But this story really caught our attention. What the heck? Pennsylvania School District has reversed course after installing surveillance windows in its gender-inclusive bathrooms. This at a middle school in Hanover, Pennsylvania, York County, the Southwestern School District installed windows in 2 gender-inclusive bathrooms at a middle school. The bathroom stalls remain private, but the windows allow those standing or walking in the hallway to see inside the rest of the bathroom. They cost $8,700 to purchase and install. Joining us to talk about this is a lawyer from the Independence Law Center. The school district says they advised them, the Independence Law Center, to do this. They say, no, we did not. Are you crazy, really? Randy Wagner is with us here on Talk Radio 1210. Randy, welcome to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So where do we get this story, this crazy school district? You consulted with them on what? How to deal with the gender-inclusive directives?
Well, we help a lot of school districts with a lot of issues, including bathroom and locker room privacy, girls' sports issues, parental rights, pronoun issues. So we have represented the school, and really the advice that we give to all schools is more privacy, the better. And there's good ways to create privacy. You want complete privacy from the opposite sex. And so we always say that the privacy of a restroom starts at the door of the restroom. It doesn't start at the door at the stall, because the stall is just there for the minimal privacy you expect from someone of the same sex, not what you want from the sounds, from the sight looking in at stalls, like that doesn't give you any privacy from the opposite sex.
Why did the Southwestern School District have to do this, Randy? Because, we have on Moms for Liberty and others. They had that big lawsuit, et cetera. Did they try to resist the so-called gender inclusive?
Well, this is a school board coming after another school board, and so there was another school board with a policy that set up gender inclusive restrooms in some of their schools, but there, sometimes you have a school that follows advice, and sometimes you have a school that doesn't, and so the right way for a school to deal with privacy, if they've got a multi-user facility and want persons of the opposite sex in those spaces, you get rid of the multi-user facility, and what you create is a bank of single user, just like you'd have at a coffee shop. If you're walking into a coffee shop and there's a door and people of both sexes can use it, but just one at a time with full floor to ceiling. So
they said,
the right way to do it.
Yeah, the school board said they put this in to prevent vaping, drug use, bullying, or cutting class, but then no such windows were placed in any of the other bathrooms. I mean, I'm astounded. There's got to be more of a back story here, Randy, to think that people are going to say, whoa, we may oppose what's going on here with various groups shoving this type of bathroom situation, but you can't put in surveillance windows.
Well, and what's really interesting, what this situation has pulled out is really interesting, because we've been fighting for privacy issues for years. We've sued schools and representing students, and we've represented schools, and oftentimes we'll hear progressive groups saying, well, it really doesn't matter. You can have a boy who identifies as a girl using the space with a girl. This is all fine. And suddenly everybody's agreeing. And this part is refreshing, that folks are saying, wait a second, people shouldn't be overhearing you when you're using the bathroom. People shouldn't be seeing you. So I think there's something very valuable that's coming out of this when progressive groups are finally admitting what we all know.
Yes, that's exactly why I see, in addition to in my words, the buffoonery of the school board, the silver lining is it underlines, and what you said, if doable, how many students are you going to have? I don't know if you guys have any statistics on that. I think it's often fairly rare, even though it's trending toward not being, that say they are gender fluid and or they are transgender. They could be accommodated by some single-use, one person at a time bathrooms.
And you know what? We find that a lot of students, regardless of whether they identify with the opposite sex or if they identify as their sex, they like single-user facilities. There's a privacy that's afforded there that's just awfully nice. And so I think increasingly you're going to have schools recognizing, particularly with the new construction, that let's just do this the right way, and we're not gonna have to deal with problems. But
to that point, Randy,
that you had.
Yeah, just a curiosity too. I know that by the time I had stopped teaching and got into this, it was a year or two after that, a little bit more. Many school districts now have abandoned showering, even after sports or whatever, because we're living in an era where people have a lot of difficulty with that. Back to the single-use thing, even though society would say we're freer, kids don't want to do that. They store stuff in these shower rooms or something of that. How does that?
But you don't use the shower rooms. You just store stuff there.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're hearing that increasingly with schools, and when we've suggested single-user options, schools have said, you know what, I think kids will use them more in situations like that. And so there's ways to do it where you can afford everybody 100% privacy like you would in your own home. And so my hope out of a story like this is that we can we can build a greater consensus of the right way to do things, that privacy really matters, and moving forward we can think outside the box and do it right. Because, even when we talk to architects, they get confused when we start talking about, like, how would you do this in a school and do it right where everyone is afforded privacy? There's a little bit of a learning curve, and then we get back to the basics of, oh, yeah, and then everybody can be comfortable because you can have the privacy that everybody has wanted all along. And it's funny because sex actually matters. So we've spent the last decade trying to pretend that sex doesn't matter, but it does.
It does.
It really does. It matters to something like this. It matters in sports, and it matters a lot of us just in terms of how we go about daily life. Is somebody going to force us to use a pronoun that we feel like is a lie? And what are we going to do in society where we need to learn how to respect everyone, and we need to learn how to do that in a way that's respectful, that isn't forcing other people to just by our ideology, by our way of thinking. America's pluralistic, and we need to learn how to live with each other.
Randy, thank you very much. Independence Law Center as always. Thank you, Randy.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Henry. I'm glad you got him on. I don't know, you and Dan were still in the generation where they use shower rooms?
I was kind of like at the tail end of it.
Yeah, I think you were. Henry, no shower room?
I mean, some people did, but yeah, I wouldn't say everyone did.
So I didn't have gym, so I have no knowledge of this. X1 at Newman. You didn't have to take gym. You wouldn't have to take gym.
They took away our shower roomies. We were making flamethrowers out of Axe.
Okay. Henry, how about you? Did you have to take it?
No, I didn't have to take a shower because when I took gym, it was freshman year, and it was the second to last period of the day.
So you just said, got it out and go home.
We didn't have time to anyway.
I think most people showered with bathing suits by the time I was in school.
That's kind of, yes, it's archaic. And Dan, I've had these people over the year. Now, this is a while ago. There used to be a period of time where people swam naked in gym
weird,
classes.
Man.
It's the strangest thing imaginable.
Did you do it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have to swim. I didn't have to do any of that type of stuff. But, God. Shower rooms are now storage rooms.
I have great legs, though. Just remember.
See, that would be an obvious. All right, so 855-839-1210.
Tom, you're a classy guy.
There's that too. 855-839-1210. You imagine you have gym the first period of the day, though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you got to shower in that case,
lasting
right?
to the end of the day to do that. Yes, God. I don't know. There was reluctance to shower at Newman.
What are these kids doing now? Are they just rubbing down with Axe?
Yes,
going to class?
I think so. Yeah. Picture the swimming pool thing, though. That is the weird college level. And I had people calling me, what are you saying anything about that for? It is weird. It is hard to believe we once did that.
I mean, that's why there was such a reaction when Biden said he still swims naked with his Secret Service
exactly.
agents.
By the way, though, it's clear to me, Biden, the story of the day, he's on DeSantis' side saying he's doing an excellent job. Harris is going after him because he won't return calls. Biden is trying to undercut her. This is not there's a couple other instances last week.
I felt guilty. I was fully clothed.
There's that too. So watch for more of this. She was asked on The View about, how did she feel, Biden taken out. And I don't know if we have that cut, Dan, where Kamala Harris said that she asked him, are you sure that you want to do that?
No, I don't have that ready.
Okay, yeah. I think
was that on The View or for Howard?
This was on The View. She was asked about what it was like to have him quit.
Oh, yeah. The phone call, yeah.
The phone call, yeah. Do we have that? Or
if you give me 1 second, I'll have it here.
Okay, not I thought I had it on my sheet. Maybe not. So much stuff. Here we go.
Who's calling? And what does he say?
So I'll set the scene for you.
Okay.
So it was a Sunday, and our family, my niece, her husband, and their 2 daughters were staying with us. And I had promised them that Sunday Auntie was going to make pancakes and bacon, and we were going to have a really... And, the kids wake up, the girls, they're 6 and 8, they were at the time. They wake up early. We always wake up the first.
Right.
So they come knocking on the door, and then we have our quiet time in the morning, just me and the girls.
Right.
And so I went to work out, and I had on cooking shows, and they were asking me, Auntie, what's that ingredient? What's that ingredient? And they're playing while I'm working out. Make breakfast. We sit down. We're having breakfast. And we'd been working on a puzzle, so they wanted more bacon, got more bacon.
Just answer the question. I don't care
Oh,
about
they
your
can't. What kind of
puzzle.
bacon? Was it Canadian bacon?
Are we going to hear what kind of puzzle, too?
Yes.
Was it a Friends cast
I bet
puzzle?
those pancakes were not the thin kind I get over in Bluebell. I'm just saying. I bet she doesn't make this.
Pancakes and bacon, good combo, though.
Okay. All right.
We had a puzzle, so we went back up to work on the puzzle. I'm still in my workout clothes.
Right.
And we're working on the puzzle, and the phone rings.
Right.
So I said,
Think she got bacon grease on the puzzle?
Auntie will be right back. And it was the president. And he told me his decision.
All right, we're 1 minute, 15 seconds into the answer. We're finally getting an answer done.
And I'll tell you, the first thing I asked him is, are you sure?
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Because what a big decision.
Yeah.
And historic.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked for a while. Meanwhile, I went back into the room where the girls were, and I'm like, go get your father.
All right, there we go. All right. How much of the believability?
Yeah,
0.0.
It sounds like a story written by a scriptwriter.
Yeah, let's see if Colbert riffs on that tonight about the bacon and pancakes. All right, 855
maple.
855. I wonder if he'll work anything Catholic into it. You get on board, but right now, despite Howard Stern and The View, that's right.
Money
We
melody.
continue.
Money gone.
We're playing for a pair of tickets to see comedian Brian Regan on October 18th at the Miller Theater in Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com.
Yeah, I'm doing an way overrated combination today, Dom. A duo in the world of music. And it's not overrated because of political views. It's overrated because this guy was looking so hard to find a drummer. Henry was just telling me that he ended up going with somebody very close to him because they were such a bad drummer. And I guess he just wanted to look good. I don't know if that's what it was.
It was, everyone else was too intricate in their drumming, and he wanted something that sounded so simple.
Yeah, and supposedly these two are musical geniuses. Not really. Recently, this cover artist, said about Trump and his supporters, quote, anybody who normalizes or treats this disgusting fascist, racist, con man, disgusting piece of S, Trump, with any level of respect is also disgusting in my book. What a horrible message from this guy. So, Dom, we're looking for this overrated cover artist that's part of a duo, part of a combination, doing a great song by Dolly Parton absolutely terribly. Take a listen.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Oh,
gosh.
Well, I'm backing up you. Please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene.
The affectation. I always love that.
No, that's not being a good singer, not being able to hit the note is what that noise is. It's not an affectation. This guy's an overrated musician, along with somebody very close to him. I actually thought it was his sister for the longest time. Apparently not.
I thought it was a female.
It is. Yeah. We want another cover artist of today's Jolene absolutely terrible cover song. And just more on this guy. He's made a habit of it now. Every concert, doing some impression of Trump and saying F him at the end, playing his music. Yeah.
All right, hit us with that, and you're off to see a real comedian. 855-839-1210. Jump on board on Talk Radio 1210.
Talk with you 'cause my happiness, it depends on you and whatever you decide to do, Jolene.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Most of us don't fit in the clothes we wore 30 years ago, and financial advice from 30 years ago doesn't fit either. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Don't miss a special edition of the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by Advocacy United, this Saturday, October 12th at noon. Get the latest on important issues that affect you. The Labor and Energy Show at a special time, this Saturday at noon on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
My dad, Len, always says, the minute you get in a car, everyone, front and back, should buckle up.
And my son Jordan always says, the minute you get in a car accident, first seek medical attention and then call us. This is Len Lundy.
And I'm Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. My dad and I hope you never meet us because of an accident. But if you do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers.
Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit LundyLaw.com.
The 2024 presidential election is here. With the race neck and neck and with so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground, and we're breaking down the numbers until every last vote is counted, providing you with insight on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2024 presidential election Tuesday, November 5th, and listen to MSNBC Live on the free Odyssey app or wherever you watch MSNBC.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
It's Don Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, time to hear Dano's show. Let's hear the clue, and let's see if we can put this cover out of its misery.
Fandom?
No, not even a little bit.
No?
I still think it's an affectation, but I hear what you're saying. All right, let's try George in Northeast. See if he can get us out of here quickly. All right, George, who's doing the cover?
Cher?
No, sorry about that. The great Cher would not stoop to anything
singing.
like that. It's a male
We got
singing.
Beyonce guest on youtube.com/@1210WPHT.
Oh, my goodness. I thought it was a female, too.
Did you?
I really did. Oh, yeah. Even though you told me, I still thought, well, yeah, I missed something here. Dan in Ben Salem. Dan, who's covering this?
That is Jack White from the White Stripes.
Wow. Are you a fan?
I was at one point, but not anymore.
Is it the Trump stuff that did it, Dan, or what?
Well, no, they musically, they kind of fell for me, but
yeah.
But
really
yeah, the Trump stuff too didn't help.
Gotcha. I'll put you on hold, Dan. Enjoy the comedian Brian Reagan here.
My follow-up clue, Don, was going to be that they're currently suing Donald Trump for the use of this song during his rallies. He hates him so much, filing lawsuits, and Jack White, just go away.
I don't think anybody's sued. Village People haven't sued Trump. That seems to be the favorite song. I mean, it is kind of...
Yeah, they claim flagrant misappropriation of their hit song.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't think the Village People are too upset that someone's using that song.
I think they're just happy to have their
they're happy
song
to have it
out
out
there.
there.
Oh, it's an all-timer, though. I mean, they're still collecting from
but
that.
I mean, how many radio stations are still giving royalties or playing Village People music?
Yeah, well, somebody's giving royalties when you play it, I think. You know, I don't know exactly how they collect, but that's enormous.
I was actually hit on by the cowboy one time.
You told me about that. Yes, I remember that long story.
One of my crowning moments, though.
So Trump going to Berks County, going to Reading tomorrow night, an actual rally. Somebody just sent me, apparently the mayor is a Republican. Rivera is the guy's last name. And I think maybe we get him on because it's interesting. This is a majority Latino city, about 69% close are Latino or Hispanic. And it strikes me, some of the news we get out of Reading, that it is not run like, say, a Philadelphia. are Latinos, when they're in charge, not just a cog in the Democrat machine, more conservative when they actually govern? I don't know too many Republicans, though, that could break through in the manner that Trump has. All right, so it's been a whirlwind day. We had Kamala Harris. We've been playing stuff that she said on The View today. The main takeaway, she said she wouldn't change anything, wouldn't have done anything, couldn't think of one different than Biden. So that means we're running still against the Biden administration. And I think the Trump people have to seize on this. And she's done a lot today with her willing henchmen in the media, starting with Biden, saying it's un-American to be critical of the hurricane relief that's going on and will go on now in Florida. Bottom line is, Trump people have to pull together, point by point, compelling story by compelling story, not just wing it on this, and show the American people what the federal government has not done here. And it's clear they're distracted. She is, definitively. And also, they don't have the full funding. God knows what they're doing now to try to get resources in there. And some of it, there are two parts of it. Some of it is directly with FEMA due to the spending for illegal immigrants. Here is the French woman, KGP. This is cut 16. Here's what Jean-Pierre said yesterday with Peter Doocy. It was quite a back and forth. Here's a little summary about what she said about FEMA money for illegal immigrants.
It's just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants.
All right, here's what she said September of 2022, 16B.
So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Humanitarian relief for migrants, all these people being shoved into cities because of crossing the border, the whole deal. So it's a lie. They have overspent. Because of that, they started to make that where the money was going to go versus what we know is always going to be hurricane season. And now they're stuck, and we're being called un-American. But this takes discipline due to how the media is. It takes discipline to show the American people exactly what's going on here. She is not tending to this. She was asked in one of these interviews, I think it was even The View, they tried to prop her up. Oh, it was The View, about, well, you called DeSantis. In your 3.5 years, have you called anybody else? And she said, yes, I've called people during Helene, meaning she routinely doesn't call people during this. She did it with DeSantis in order to show she was connected to it. DeSantis smartly wouldn't take the call. And now Biden has praised DeSantis and his handling of all this stuff, which is, again, a tell where Biden's going with this. There are hard feelings there, as you can imagine, and he's going to continue to undermine this. All right, so 855-839-1210.
I do have that audio from the tarmac in which she addresses it. I do not have the audio from The View in which she addresses it. But
okay, let's hear from the tarmac. Yeah.
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
All right, so what Trump has to do is not make the broad comments. There's got to be piecing together here the people that are harmed by this, what they're seeing on the ground, get Vance involved. And what Kamala Harris is channeling there, whether she knows it or not, is the tactic of Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro comes out and he thinks he's a genius on this, constantly saying, I'm not going to let Trump run down my United States of America. No, Josh, progressives, and you're one of them, even though you masquerade better. You're the ones that are running down foundational, constitutional, traditional America. You're the ones that are doing it. Trump and the Trump movement is trying to restore that, make America great again, make America blank again, the things that you have tried to undercut. You're more skilled at not getting your hands as dirty publicly than a Harris. That's a given. But that's what it's about, trying to say that Trump is the one causing angst when these people are suffering, and he's raised money, he's been there in the middle of it, and he's calling attention to it. Where's FEMA? Where's the FEMA money? Where are the resources? The other part of it is, it's not just illegal immigrants. It's Ukraine. It's Harris wanting to bail out people in Lebanon that have attacked Israel. It's around the world, all that's not only money, but emphasis. Rural America knows that the Democrat Party has not been a champion of theirs for a long time, and particularly since they've swung toward Trump. And 26 of 28 counties there in North Carolina that are the most hard hit are Trump country. That's what this is about. She's banking on the fact she's not going to waste time there. She's going to do things that prop her up, like today in New York, all these interviews. All right, we'll have more on that. Don't forget the side question today, National Chocolate-Covered Pretzel Day. Hit us with something that is a great combination, all right? Could be a person, could be a thing. We've had some good ones, but I see some more. Get yours in at 855-839-1210. Hey, are you tired of relying on caffeine for a quick energy fix? There's a better way to revitalize your body from within. Introducing Oracine by Rescue Natural Supplements, the cellular energizer that helps your body produce its own natural fuel. Say goodbye to daily fatigue and a load of lasting energy. As a bonus, Oracine supports heart health and optimal blood pressure. That's why you can't miss out on this exclusive radio offer. You buy one bottle of Oracine, get another absolutely free. Simply use the code FUEL when you place your order. Call them today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant or use that code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Again, just use that code FUEL, F-U-E-L, for this buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Oracine. And remember that code FUEL at res-q.com. Do it today.
Weather sponsored by Budget Blinds.
We are locked into a very pleasant weather pattern through the rest of the week. Plenty of sunshine today with a high up around 71. Another clear night tonight and chilly, low 50 for the city and 40s out in the suburbs. And another seasonable day on Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and breezy with a high 71.
Ready for fall? Budget Blinds is your one-stop shop for blinds, shades, shutters, custom drapery, and motorization. Visit budgetblinds.com for a free in-home consultation and the only no questions asked warranty in the business. When you schedule your consultation, ask about their special radio offer.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles. Highly logical. Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
The leaves are changing color, the air is crisp, and it's the perfect time to fall into savings on a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. Take advantage of these incredible offers. A 2025 XC40 for only $435 per month on a 36-month lease. A 2024 C40 for only $329 per month on a 36-month lease. Or get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships matter.
The following is a paid commercial message.
Bob Casey supported radical sanctuary city policies, and Casey said,
I want to be held accountable if something doesn't work out well.
Casey's sanctuary city policies haven't worked out well. They released dangerous illegal immigrants onto our streets. In fact, Casey's sanctuary city policies released one illegal immigrant felon in Philadelphia who then raped a 5-year-old Pennsylvania girl. Casey made us all less safe. Casey not only supports these crazy policies that put convicted felons back on our streets, he'd make things even worse. Casey voted to give illegals with violent criminal records amnesty. Casey supported amnesty even for illegals convicted of domestic violence and child abuse. Rewarding illegals convicted of domestic violence and child abuse? It's insane.
I want to be held accountable.
It's time to hold Casey accountable. It's time for a change. It's time to fire Bob Casey. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateLeadershipFund.org.
Support the Evesham Township Police Foundation. See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Cherokee High School in Marlton, Saturday, October 26th.
Conklin doing his thing, his best voices, his best shtick. Joe's family is just, they're like back from the Osmonds. They're Osmonds on steroids. They're unbelievable.
They made fun of the Cowboys, though. I've known him for such a long time, but I did not know he could sing like that.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm at Cherokee High School in Marlton, New Jersey, October 26th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
Saving for retirement is one thing. Making your money last? For that, you may need some help. Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. So one thing we didn't quite hear, Dan, just came down now. Howard Stern asked Kamala Harris, would you feel safe staying in the country if Trump wins? I wonder if Stern will promise to leave the country if Trump wins. More incentive to be out there grabbing people and saying, have you voted? I don't know that he said that. It's on Gravy, and if you have a chance to find it. This is the idea. He's weak. She said this. Then in the next sentence, he's a dictator, though.
Yeah, we played that one.
Oh, about would you feel safe to stay in the country?
I don't know if we played it.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Here's the rest of that.
Okay.
1 second.
If he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country?
Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win.
All right. I'd like to know, is Stern going to stay in the country? Is Jimmy Kamau going to stay in the country? How many are going to leave again? We hear this every time. I don't remember any that ever left exactly. But how many will leave? The ladies on The View, they're going to do it from Canada. 855-839-1210.
I have more from that clip if you
want. Okay, sure.
Well, what if he does? How can you be safe? He's saying, oh, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. This time I know what I need to do.
You know what? All of those former officials from national security, the over 200 Republicans who worked with both Presidents Bush, Mitt Romney, John McCain, who are endorsing me, the former Vice President Dick Cheney, who is voting for me along with his daughter Liz Cheney. We are building a coalition of people that are Republicans, independents, Democrats, libertarians, all stripes of Americans who are coming together to say, you know what, this election is about putting country before party, that this is about saying, do we want a president who's going to abide by the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, or someone who is full-time engaged in flattery from Vladimir Putin of Russia and sending COVID testing kits over to him when Americans are dying every day?
All right, another charge. It has not been proven that she just put out Howard Stern. Yeah, we chalked that one up. There we go. COVID test. And
she also said that gay rights are next.
Ah.
Or no, that's Howard that says gay rights are next. From the Supreme Court.
Government.
Well, here's what I worry about. You got a guy who says probably you don't really need to vote if I win. You got a guy who says, hey, we're not stopping here. You know gay rights are next.
Yeah.
You know it.
But Clarence Thomas said it.
Yep. I mean, who doesn't have, here's the crazy thing to me. Who doesn't have gay people in their life? Whether it's your kid, whether it's your best friend, whether it's, the genie is out of the bottle, guys.
Why would Trump, where's the evidence that Trump of all people, it's the same thing with abortion, like Trump cares that someone's gay and he's going to be going after, I mean, there's enough stuff that they want to debate him on, they don't like, okay. But that Trump is somebody that's going to target gay people based on what? All right, let's go to the Earl of Tacony here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Earl, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Dom. Sorry about that. Earlier today you had the meteorologist from Florida who was talking about climate change.
Yes.
And this guy's supposed to be a meteorologist. Now, it has been record warmth this year. The ocean is warmer, and the hurricanes are stronger, but it's not because of climate change or because we're not paying taxes as a result of it. The reason it's happening is because in late December of 2021, early 2022, off the coast of Fiji in the South Pacific, the Hunga volcano erupted. This was an undersea volcano that sent 176 million gallons of water into the stratosphere, 8.5 miles up into the stratosphere. It increased the amount of water in the stratosphere by 10% and is acting like a giant lens, which is concentrating all the heat onto the surface of the planet. Even NASA says it's going to take 5 to 10 years for this water to get out of the upper stratosphere and down to Earth so that temperatures can return back to normal. Now, I'm not a meteorologist. I'm just a roofer, and I figured that out. And this is Wikipedia, by the way. This isn't some right-wing website.
Yeah, well, look, it's inappropriate. It's out of line to offer that up as a fact in the middle of a weather forecast and pretend like you're a moron if you don't know this, and this is evidence of it. We know that, and then you have to make a decision about are you going to get weather from those people that do it.
Now, do you want to know about Trump being sued for the music, or do you want my side question?
Yeah, give me your side question, Earl.
My side question, I had a bunch of obvious ones, but I'm going to go a bit out of the box. I'm going to go the Grateful Dead and drugs. Because I'm pretty sure that when the cops are going around a Grateful Dead concert, they're going to walk up to some guy and it's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm listening to music. It's like, where's your joint? It's like, I don't have a joint. It's like, what the hell you mean you don't have a joint? Anybody have a joint here for this guy? I got an acid tab. Look, guy, we're not going to have you here being sober and killing our buzz while we're trying to listen to the Grateful Dead. Because you got to be stoned to listen to the Grateful Dead. You know, we're going to get rid of you if you remain sober.
All right. How about a Springsteen concert? What are the cops searching for there? Good one, Earl. Unknown. Dan's puzzled over that one. The antagonism is.
I'm going through these Howard clips, man, because I just saw one here that popped up on my feed, and it's now they're claiming that Trump's going to assassinate his opponents.
Yeah, let's hear that.
What do you think, too, of these judges basically saying whatever Trump does in office is okay, including assassinating his opponents, because he's doing it for the good of the country? What the hell is going on here? You're the prosecutor. You're the attorney general. What is going on here? Is this America?
So to your point, that's where everyone, I think, is starting to understand this election is not 2016 or 2020, because that Supreme Court decision just a few months ago basically said to the former president, you will be immune from anything you do in office. Now, this is a guy who has said he'll be a dictator on day one, has said he would weaponize the Department of Justice, take away the independence of the Department of Justice.
All right. So let's back up here. This has to be morons that are in middle school, not even in their 20s or 30s listening to this. You know by now, you're a smart listener. You know by now the immunity thing, what the Supreme Court clearly said about this. Howard Stern doesn't know too much. All right. So he's not even an entertainer at this point. Harris, though, sounds to me like she might not just be saying it because it's convenient. She might actually believe it. This notion of taking it's the same thing with the Roe v. Wade, kicking it back to the states where it belongs. The same thing they're doing with this court. Could Harris even be in the same room with an Alito on constitutional principles, having any sensibility whatsoever? So I can't even tell. It's so bad there. She might actually have convinced herself that a president can do anything. That's what the Supreme Court is saying.
You know, in the game of poker, people have tells that kind of give themselves away.
Yes.
I think I found one in the Kamala interview to explain how this is scripted, because I want a listener, if you have the time to, I don't want you to suffer through this entire interview, but she says...
So to your point,
So to your point, so many dang times, like almost every question she says, so to your point. It's like, oh, yeah. So to your handoff, right. What you were saying.
Well, and I don't think they did it intentionally because they just wanted to hit certain points. Stern might have even asked for it. I need some help here. Give me some stuff that I should be asking you to continue. This is a long interview. My goodness, it is stunning.
Some inside baseball. When I was there, they had Howard TV, and the head of Howard TV was a director by the name of Scott DePace.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there in the bullpen,
right,
where Gary and Scott would just go butt heads loudly about politics. Gary being a big staunch Obama supporter at the time, and I guess it was the other way for DePace, and Howard would always make the remark walking by, "Shut the hell up, guys, nobody wants to talk about politics," and he would always just roll his eyes at the political nature of their conversations and not want to be involved. And then to have a presidential candidate like Kamala Harris come on and have such fawning questions, it's such a turn. And I was there, I guess, 2013, so about 10 years ago, Dom, and just 11 years, and just to see a turn in a decade it's so sad to see from such a legend.
I think it was like 2018, I have to go back and look at the date that he did that 11 and a half minutes on me, simply because the producer got a whiff of what we were saying. He wants to be taken seriously. That's what it's about.
It's 100% what it is.
Yeah, because I still think in his heart of it, if he had any politics, they were libertarian with a small L. That's what he was about. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, even more inside baseball. Soon after I had left there, they released someone by the name of Tracy, who was my person that hired me, kind of like the office manager. She was released, or something happened there. I don't know. But then a woman came in and kind of replaced her, Marcia Turk. And Turk is someone from a club called Getting Things Done. And Howard read this book and really wanted to kind of reframe his image. So he hired one of the essentially co-authors of this book and had her share. So Tracy had like an office all the way back in the back. When Marcy came on, essentially had her share the office with Gary Delabate and completely reframe his image into something that's more desirable for the audience of America's Got Talent at the time. And he's kind of really dug into that. And I remember the phrase being said, he doesn't want to be remembered as a shock jock. He wants to be remembered as the best interviewer of all time. And when you're being fed questions, Howard, that's not how you get that crown of best interviewer of all time, of king of interviewers that you want.
Yeah, we may have to do that as a side question. I don't have enough entertainment value. A best interviewer of all time. All right, but it is the lightning round next here on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
How is that possible? In the United States of America, FEMA doesn't have the resources. Hurricanes aren't anything new. They've been happening since the beginning of time. It's not we don't have the resources. It's we didn't allocate the resources properly. FEMA is spending money on stuff that is America last. That is the unacceptable part. Not whether it was which county it is, Democrat, Republican. We're talking about human beings' lives, and they're out of money.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The exclusive crash-proof retirement system is tried and true, outperforming the market through the worst of economic times, as it did for crash-proof consumer Larry Kipp. In 2007, Mr. Kipp's crash-proof system earned 15.8% interest, outperforming the S&P. When the crash of 2008 struck and the market dropped over 37%, his crash-proof system lost nothing. Mr. Kipp did not have to recover from the crash. His system credited 10.8% interest permanently to his account, as others tried to recoup what they already had.
People talking about all the money that they lost, and I could sit there and say, well, I didn't lose any. I knew that I couldn't lose principal, and so when the crash came, I knew my money was safe. I would say that there is a crash-proof retirement. I have proof of it.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Spring Mill Country Club on October 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, 5378. That includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient at PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That's right, and Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, get 3.99% financing on select new Volvos for 72 months. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, today, National Chocolate-Covered Pretzels Day. Hit us with somebody or something that goes together like that. Let's go to Joe of Exton on Talk Radio 1210. Joe, what's yours today?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe.
When the Roman Empire declined, the Byzantine Empire arose under Constantine, and the coin of the realm featured the figure of a double-headed eagle with the heads facing in opposite direction to each other.
And the reason for that, Joe?
I'm not sure. It symbolized something. It symbolized something, a duplicate or double in that realm.
All right, thank you, Joe. Where else Byzantine Empire? How does this guy come up with it every day?
The heads represent the dual sovereignty of the emperor, both in secular and religious matters, and/or dominance over both the East and the West.
Okay, let's see. Joe in Bordentown. Joe, what's yours?
Aloha, Dom and Dan.
Thank you, Joe.
That would be at the beach with one of those little miniature umbrellas sticking out of it.
All right, that's a good choice. That'll get to the judges. Henry, got a winner today?
I mean, I think that last one takes the cake right there. A drink on the beach.
Oh, yeah,
nothing beats that.
Yeah.
All right, goes together. Dan, how about yours?
I like Joe's Byzantine weird answer there.
So I got to decide between the pedestrian,
or you can pull out
which
another
was
one.
Good.
Yeah.
We also have Earl with the Grateful Dead and drugs, and Joe in Westchester with death and taxes.
Yeah, I kind of like Earl's today. Thought that was pretty impressive.
Earl
but if we go with Earl today,
Deadheads.
Yeah, sorry about that. And just one piece of advice, get in earlier tomorrow. Gives us more time to think about it. Richie always next here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
All night.